North Sports Dynasty where I can actually be a little bit louder. Because you would think when I'm in public selling cards, I can be as loud as I want. But I was so fucking nervous to be loud for episode 1 with how many people were around there. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first, welcome back to North Sports Dynasty. I am one technical half of your host, Andrew Fulbert. This is my platform. This is my co-host that I do shows with all the time, Mr. Alex Loosemore of the Lion Roar podcast and the Kitty Scratch team and shit. I'm just kidding. Alex Loosemore of Let's Fucking Talk Football and stuff.
No, other way. I'm good, man. Always excited to talk ball. This time next week we'll already be we'll be watching the Brazil game.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. Very, very excited. Obviously, college ball is back. Real football is here, and I couldn't be more excited.
Why do we still have like week 1 shit in Brazil? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why can't we can't have November games in Brazil? Is there like shit going on? Like why does it have to be week 1? I still will never understand that. But before we get into the big talks, y'all know what to do. You gotta like, you gotta subscribe, you gotta follow North Sports Dynasty, the little circle thing that I call my logo that I've had for a very long time, but I can't change now because the colors match so well that it's basically taken over my entire life, as you can see. So yeah, like it's basically bubblegum. People are like, Andrew, it's called bubblegum. I'm like, it's called North Sports Dynasty. I don't know what you're calling. Everybody just steals the colors that I've created for North Sports Dynasty. I will have a hat soon. This is my Grizzlies hat, but I am going to have a hat soon. Made one for me and the pretty lady. Since people have kind of seen all over social media, if you follow North Sports Dynasty, I do cards now. Not in like a huge way. I'm not Sid, where I literally quit my day job and divorced my family and decided to like move into a shop and do it every single day. But I have creeped into the industry just a little bit. And now I sell cards at shows. Which if you're Fort Saskatchewan or Edmonton or Calgary resident, if you are around next weekend, I will be doing my booth at the Fort Saskatchewan Pioneer House. I don't know the address off by heart. Don't make me do that right now, okay? I just got home. I've been trying to set everything up. It's because I now have many businesses, and it's because I actually have been away from North Sports Dynasty for a while. I've been trying to get back, and if this thing falls out of my fucking ear one more time.
What happens first, that or you dropping the pen?
Fuck off. I'm not dropping that. I'm not. I don't have a pen on me.
I was going to say, you don't have one in your hand. That's why.
Yeah. So that's my other business. And it did quite profitable the first time, to the point where I reached out actually to Sid and was just like, I need advice. I need just a couple of little quick tricks and stuff. And he was very helpful. A lot of other guys have been very helpful. I say this as appropriately as I can too, before we get into some major talks here, because me and Alex haven't talked here in a while. And I haven't talked to Ben in a while. Hi, Ben. Stashi McAfee. I like it. McAfee. I literally shaved off the beard and I sat there like this. And I was like, whoa, the hell's behind there? I shaved off the beard and literally I kept this and I was looking in the mirror and I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And even Kim was like, yeah, it's not that bad. And now every single person that has walked into work is just like, yeah, please don't ever bring the beard back. I like the mustache. And I'm like, cool. I'm not doing the French stuff that everybody's like, dude, you should do the French. I'm like, no, thanks. I'm not. Maybe. Depends on how my bets go and stuff like that. So I'm not. But anyways, hi Ben. I hope your Seminoles do bad.
Well,
I mean, not like Jordan Travis injury bad, but like I hope that you guys still don't win any games. Like I hope you.
Well, they're not winning tomorrow, but
thank you. I hope your Golden Knights do good. I hope your Lakers do kind of respectable, since you guys kind of broke the league a little bit. What else is his team? I'm trying to think of what's his baseball team. That's the Rays, right? He's the Rays and
No, Dodgers.
Oh yeah, that's right, Ben. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, Ben. It's been a while. I haven't talked to you guys. Ben, if you're free, I'd fucking hop in here. It is part of the thing down there where it's like this is an open conversation for everybody tonight. Like it's Friday night. It's NSD episode 1, or episode 2 technically, because the first one was basically just a live show of me selling cards. Which my first ever, I find this cool. The first sale I ever do at my own booth is a Sebastian Cosa Young Guns.
Nice.
And a Devin Cooley UD canvas. I was like, this is kind of funny. And I'll always remember my first sale for that. And then someone comes up and is like, I want your Venusaur and I want your JJ McCarthy. And I was like, sure. I didn't want to get rid of these. Nah, shit. I didn't want to do that. And of course, yeah, I still sold it. But I had fun. I make money. That's what I do. Now I have Pokemon cards galore. Look at this thing. Look at this freaking thing, dude. This thing, this binder right here. Fucking Pokemon cards. It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. Guess what? Guess what the next page is? Pokemon.
I was gonna say it's definitely Yu-Gi-Oh.
I wished. Digimon. Yeah, I am gonna get me some Digimon cards. More Pokemon. These are all ones that the kids have started to pull. I have some blank pages and then blank pages, and then we start getting into the hockey. Then we start getting into the good, like, personal collection of the young guys. So. Yeah, no, it's taken over my whole entire life. These cards are like ridiculously expensive too. So it's not like Andrew, what are you doing? It's like I've made an investment. I literally watch my stock prices go up every day. I don't know about you. And the best thing I've heard before now 10 minutes into the show, and now I officially can clip it, get it out of the way. But before we get into it, the best thing I've heard about this industry is someone asked in a video, why do you collect Pokemon cards? Why would you collect Pokemon cards over, like a Tom Brady or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like maybe Tom Brady's and stuff are, a little bit passive. But the guy goes, Pikachu ain't ever gonna tear an ACL. Charizard ain't ever gonna beat his wife. And Gengar ain't ever going to have a DUI. All right?
I mean.
But I mean, that's literally it. And it's one of the funniest things I have ever heard, but it's completely true. And I was like, okay, now I got to start having Pokemon cards at my thing to sell. And of course, every time I get Pokemon cards, I don't want to sell them because I know the price of them. So, yeah. All right, so let's get into this a little bit here. Everybody, like I said, like, share, subscribe, all that other fun stuff. We're doing our season predictions. We're not going to bore you and go week by week or anything like that. No, we're going to go division by division. We're going to talk about some of the teams that we have some, love for. Once we're done that, we will have our big old Green Bay debate because this has been going on for a while. I pissed Alex off to the point where we had to go and make a status and gaslight everybody into thinking Green Bay.
You were the only one. I was going to war with JT on fucking Twitter last night for like 2 hours back and forth. Shit was
Why is
wild.
He's full in Green Bay, eh?
No, well, I mean, it went from Green Bay to then he listed how he thinks the NFC is gonna go. And he has like Green Bay and Tampa, and then like Detroit and Green Bay, and then like pretty much everyone else. And I was like, I feel like this is a lot closer.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I personally think there's a top 3 to 4, and then there's a gap.
What's up, Christopher Cole?
But so we were explaining our differences of opinions.
See, and it's funny because last year, with the emergence of Washington, it's kind of added that that extra team in the NFC where you're like, oh, cool. So now there isn't just 7 teams that we can just throw into the playoffs and say, pick a spot where they're going to go.
To me,
now
it's like 9.
There is, yeah. Like I've got a few here that are kind of on the cusp still and stuff like that. I got a couple that a lot of people are definitely not going to be okay with, but it is what it is. So, let's start it off with let's start it off in the AFC, and we'll start off with the East, and we'll just talk about our order of operations there first, and then kind of talk about some of the players and some of the shit that might happen within there. Alex, who do you got winning the East all the way front to fourth, and why?
I mean, to me, it's clear the Bills in the East. They're the runaway team. But it wasn't as big of a gap as I actually initially thought, because I have the Patriots as the 2nd seed. They just missed the playoffs at 11-6. I really like what Vrabel's doing there. I like Drake May a lot. I like that defense. If Christian Gonzalez can stay healthy with Carlton Davis. I was like, you played for both of us. And what they've done up front defensively, the offensive line worries me a little bit. Outside of Will Campbell, I think Stephon Diggs is going to have a massive year there in New England. The Jets are 3rd for me at 6-11. And I have zero faith in the Dolphins. They are 4-13 in 4th in the division for me. This defense is a mess. The defensive line is brutal. We'll see if any of those edge rushers can stay healthy this year. The linebackers aren't very good. And that secondary, what are they planning to do here? It's a poor man's Bengals from last year, is essentially what the Dolphins are to me.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough in Miami this year.
So that's one thing that we agree on right off the bat, and I'll start. I have Miami 4-13 as well. This could easily be a playoff team with the talent that they have on there and what they have shown a couple of years ago. But you can't have your quarterback coming out and saying basically that there's still some shit and that Tyreek needs to basically apologize. You cannot have that.
Even if they didn't have the stuff in the locker room, they still don't have an offensive line.
They
for a quarterback that takes 2 hits and he misses a month. Like,
yep.
There's nothing there. Achan's hurt. We'll see if he's ready for week 1. And Alexander Madison, who was supposed to be their RB2, done for the year. So it's like, what positive should we really expect from Miami? And there's not much.
You might get a couple of explosive games like you did from them last year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to put up 70 on Denver anymore.
No.
Like, I don't think we're ever going to get that. I don't think anybody's ever putting 30 up on Denver ever again, by the way that defense is starting to look out. But yeah, I seen reports out there that it's not just Mike McDaniels, it's the GM, and I can't remember the GM's name there, like the player personnel operations. One of the reasons why they have not invested real capital in a real offensive lineman is because they believe that they have to have, quote, a offensive style lineman that could run with wide receivers. I'm fucking sorry. I understand.
Maybe in like 15 years when we get more genetically freaky, but
yeah. Can you call Mike McDaniel? Let him retire and call that dude back when him and Rodgers are done 3 years of peyote in the fucking rainforest. Yeah, like not right now, and especially not on the Dolphins. You had what was their left tackle, and he retired, and he was
Ron Armstead.
Like you had Ron Armstead, and he was not the right type of left tackle for your system at all.
Well, realistically, what most teams are looking for in a left tackle, they should have been looking for a right tackle.
Yes.
He's a left-handed quarterback. Like,
yes. And now everybody understands why the Chargers took Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. I mean, not in that order, but they were like, oh, like what's going to happen here and stuff like that. So Chris Greer. Yes. Thank you. Chris Greer is the GM. Yeah. I forgot. I totally, that's right. Yeah. And like, so what are you doing? All you guys are going to be traded or fired, and then all of a sudden, Tua's going to have to sit there and prove it on another team. And I hate to be that guy, But if Tua is the backup in Baltimore and something happens with Baltimore's quarterback in Lamar
Is
Jackson,
he getting released? Because who the hell's going to pay him that money to be a backup?
Oh, you'd be this. This is 1,000% suggesting he would be released. He would get his cut. You're gone. We'll pay you for the next 3 years and go be a vet minimum like Russell Wilson there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that also being said, I still think Tua is a good quarterback. He just needs the right system. And if you put him on something like Baltimore, you put him on something like even the Rams, technically, because they could be a little bit more mobile. Even the Bucs.
I think he'd do great in our system, I think.
Yes. Tua in Ford Field would fucking the left hand. Yes. There's teams he wouldn't be good on, like the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. The one he's playing for fits that list.
And I don't say this because, I always do the joke with my fiance because she thinks out of all the freaking quarterbacks in the league, he's the hottest one out there. And I'm like, if you even like tweet him, he might tear an ACL. Like
another concussion text. That's
just injuries in general. The guy is freaking everywhere. And I don't want that for him. I want him to succeed. I don't think he's going to though. For me, for the rest of them, I got Buffalo waiting at 12-5. I got New England 8-9. And this is why I'm going to say this. Vrabel, this is Vrabel's first year. Vrabel's getting all the old shit out, as we just saw. Was it today or last night with the Julius Peppers?
Jabril Peppers was today.
It was today. He's gone. Like that is a good thing technically if he's not, the guy, the culture there that he's bringing. Get him out. Yeah. And I like because Vrabel's that guy.
Yeah. Vrabel won with much less in Tennessee.
Much less. He made a lot more in Tennessee.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily think New England's an 11-6 team, but they have a very easy schedule this year. So that plays into the 11-6 record. There's another team that fits that same mold over in the NFC that we'll get to later.
Okay. I also got the Jets at 7-10. I will argue this fact that I still think the Jets are a top 3 defense in the league. Just defense alone. Just the players that they have assembled over the years and the shit that offensive line can do and the edge rushers all the way to the safeties. And when they add dudes off of the free agency wire, it's like add another half like juice to all of these guys. Like take a shot of steroids and just shove it in the butt cheek, hit the inject button, and that's what you get when they come and play for the Jets defense. Doesn't matter if they're getting their ass kicked.
You add in the fact that Aaron Glenn is now their coach.
Yes.
He had the Lions statistically as a borderline top 10 defense last year with probably 30 different players that played on that defense last year.
Yep.
So, I mean, the dude knows how to coach a defense. And you give him Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams and Quincy Williams. And, man, what a freaking match made in heaven.
Something the fourth. The other guy, the fourth. Okay, Will Johnson?
Will McDonald.
Will McDonald, the fourth or whatever. Yeah. He started coming up too.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah. Like the Jets are a very good team on the defensive side. The offense is still suspect. Yeah, but they're getting some pieces around there. I think what they're doing right now is they paid for Justin Fields for a little bit. It's kind of like, please come in here, help it for a little bit. Maybe we can revive your career. Please don't, so we can get a good pick next year in the quarterback draft. Or stay for us and do medium next year and then suck absolutely in your like horribly bad in your last year so that we get Manning in a Jets jersey. Don't let that happen at all. For the love of God, do not if we want any success out of Arch Manning, though, I mean, if he's got that defense, if he's going up against that defense in practice, that would be
well. And that running back group is a very good running back group in New York. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, those guys is a very good group, and especially now the fact that they want to try and kind of treat it like Detroit did with Gibbs and Montgomery, where you have Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. I think that's a fun concept there. I mean, obviously you've got Garrett Wilson on the outside. Not much else, but you're building there. If Fields can kind of reignite what he had at Ohio State with Garrett Wilson, Those two are going to be so fun to watch.
They
and
win.
then, they'll win a lot more games than we have them listed at. But
I got 7. I got 6
right now.
I got 7. I just think the defense is probably going to steal like two off of Miami for sure. Might steal one off of New England. Might steal one off of Buffalo. It might be one of those divisional games where Buffalo's like, fuck it, and then the defense shows up and Josh Allen's like, fine, I'll run it myself. And then we all know what happens when he kind of does that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have another guest joining us. It is not the one that I put up in the title here. It is one that we invited in the chat. Mr. Dodgers fan, which God help you if you got to play the Blue Jays.
Stop it.
Don't you start with you get that Canada pride.
Other way. Yeah, there you go.
What do you mean?
Now you're pointing at me. No.
Yeah, I'm pointing at you.
No,
don't you hate on the Blue Jays?
I will, because the Tigers are the best team in the American League.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Let me give him his proper introduction first, and then we can talk a little bit of baseball and watch the fucking view. No, I'm just kidding. As Johnny would say. My Seminoles guy, my Bucks guy, my Dodgers guy, my Lakers guy, my soon to be probably at the Sphere, more than anybody can ask, or probably at an Oakland, soon to be Las Vegas A's games, more than everybody probably could imagine. Mr. Ben Cornett, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Ben?
Keep going. There's more to the.
There's more. There's more.
All right, what's going on, guys? First of all, Andrew, welcome. Thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate that, man. As far as the Blue Jays, Toronto, isn't that more of an Americanized Canadian city?
Kind of.
Yeah, that's the Canadian pride my ass. They don't even like to be part of Canada, essentially.
I thought that was Montreal or any part of Quebec.
God, no. They want to be so independent and stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't want to be anyone but themselves.
No. Kind of like around here a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much from us, but maybe
that's a pretty growing theme here.
No. Alex is all for independence, and when we have our own little civil war, me and him will be like laughing at each other from across the line. No, I'm just kidding.
He's drinking out of his Wendy's cup. Oh, good.
Yeah. Hey, man, we still got freedom up here. We're still fine.
Oh, good. Well, very good. I'm doing great, guys. As you know, it is football season. I just heard you guys talk about the New York Jets, who I will say are probably going to finish third in that division. Agreed. I got Miami last.
Yeah.
And I got Mike McDaniel gone maybe before the end of the year.
Yep.
It's not bad down there.
I can see it.
Tua, you can't trust. I mean, he's one injury away from calling it a career. You lost Jalen. You traded Ramsey. You brought in Fitzpatrick, but we know how that worked out the first time he was in Miami. Didn't like it. So the Jets, I mean, I don't think they're going to be a very good team, but I don't think they're the worst team in that division.
No.
Not by a long shot.
No. And it's
I think
funny.
It's very clearly Miami in the basement of that division.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, it is very funny to note that while Tua's wife was giving him head, he got a concussion.
Where did you find that? TMZ? They report that, or what?
I just assumed that every time the word head is said.
I was just gonna say you found it on the hub.
You get your weather from that, right? I gotcha.
So while we got Ben here, and just to keep like the conversation rolling instead of going through all the divisions, let's talk about some of the teams that we actually think are going to be like bad. Like in this upcoming class of quarterbacks that we do have coming out here, obviously, teams are starting to pile up picks. People are starting to get ready to, look at their schedule and be like, oh, we're 3-4 at we're at week 8. We should just probably start selling everything now. Sell everything. Don't win a single more game for the rest of the season. And Chris actually made a funny joke because I said, well, with the Dallas trade and stuff like that, he goes, don't worry, I'm already on David for it and stuff. And
Good.
yeah. I was like, well, throw my hands up in the air here, but doesn't this kind of seem like you look at Dak's contract and just the way that Dallas is kind of looking like now that they got some picks here? Don't you think that maybe they're the ones that want Arch Manning in a couple years? Maybe they're doing their own due diligence to kind of,
I know what Dak's deal was 4 years, and this is year 1 of it. So
this is technically year 2, wouldn't it be? Last year was the first year of the new contract.
No, they signed the extension last year, but it doesn't kick in until the following year. So year
2 years left on a contract. Jerry's about to pass away. You'd be like, fuck it out. I just put up another oil rig and listen to her spit.
Well, I mean, at the same time, it's a lot easier to trade that kind of contract in year 3 than it is year 1 or 2, right? So that's a big difference there. Or you draft a guy like that, and you basically have a guy like Arch do the same thing he's just done at Texas.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like his uncles did and said, fuck you, I'm not going there. And be like, yes, do it.
I mean, I would love that, but
yeah, don't go to it. I think all of us can agree here, and it's not our hatred. I think we can, maybe our hatred for the Dallas Cowboys on a mutual respectable basis here. It's not that we hate them that bad that we don't want to see Arch go there. It's just because of the drama show that Jerry has created and admitted recently that's going on in Dallas. I don't want Arch to go there. I don't really want Caleb Nussmeier to go there. I don't want really any of those guys to go there. I just want Dak to deal with this shit for the next few years.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see the documentary on Netflix?
I
haven't watched it yet.
Getting through it.
It pretty much tells you
You're going to see Pretty Lady in the background. Hi, Pretty Lady.
Yeah, it's quite a documentary. You can see why Dallas is where they've been the last 30 years. It's an owner that just cannot give up control. He is the Cowboys, and he makes it that way. He puts himself out there, and that's why they've failed the last 30 years. And the thing is, what difference is it going to make if they get these 2 first-rounders? It depends on what they use them for.
They're probably going to spend it on a running back and a tight end, and it's not going to go towards that terrible defense. Like,
that's what I mean. It's just like it's Jerry Jones until he either is gone. I don't mean that in a bad way, or he steps down and lets his son have control, or somebody he can actually bring in football operational wise. It's just going to be the same thing. You can't trust what he's going to do. Well, that's if Jordan approves that. That's up to her. Since she's like agent for Bill.
She'd come with him and leave him for Jerry Jones.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that would be great. I would love that.
There's a strong argument though that Jerry Jones is the worst GM in the NFL right now. There is a very strong argument to make for that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. I thought they were going to get a deal done. Him and Parsons. I thought, going to do it.
I thought similar to what Green Bay just signed him to.
Yep.
Yeah. But as far as the trade, we want to talk about that. I mean, I said this. It puts him in the conversation. Does that mean Green Bay is going to be a contender? Not necessarily, but it does get them in the conversation now. You have to do that with Detroit. Those are the 2 teams in the NFC North. I understand Chicago and Minnesota are on the up and up, getting there.
They're still both a year or 2 away, probably.
Right, and it depends on Caleb Williams. Can he develop?
And JJ McCarthy.
And JJ. I mean, it's a great division still. I can see the last place team be 8-9 or 7-10 because of
I do have the last place team at 7-10. I 1,000% agree with you there.
Yeah. Now I will say when we were talking or chatting yesterday, Alex, in the chat,
7-10. Yeah.
You do lose your run defense with Kenny Clark, but I think the positive kind of outweighs the negative on this. It's still Micah Parsons, and for people to say, the Baylesses and saying that he struggled last year, well, that's because they put another guy to block him on that side, so he didn't get quite the sacks that he would get because they focused on him. They don't have another defensive end on that team that can, pick up the slack for Micah. So
Mhm.
that people have to understand that. Now he's in Green Bay,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
and he's going to have more of an opportunity to get to the quarterback. But then again, Detroit has a great offensive line.
Detroit has a
Minnesota-
fantastic offensive line.
Yes, probably one
Well,
of the best.
we gotta see. We just changed our whole interior. Our tackles are still great, but all
True.
3 interior spots got switched around. I'm not worried about them, but
Fair.
I gotta see it before I say they're great to
true.
elite still.
And then, Chicago improved dramatically with that offense, getting the free agents coming
So did
in,
Minnesota.
and Minnesota. So, Micah's going to a tougher division now with offensive lines that are much more talented and play a lot better. So it's going to be fun to watch, and we'll know week one
Mhm.
because we know who Green Bay's playing.
Him and Panay, yeah.
So
I'm so excited for that.
It's also funny to note because I was just thinking about it. The one question everybody is saying too is, with Clark gone up the middle, they're like, oh, well, all these teams, now they can run it up on Green Bay. So what if Green Bay's offense does take, say, just the next step and Golden ends up being a one, Christian Watson comes back and ends up being, say, like even a 1B. Romeo Doubs and Wicks are like your slot guys, a little bit of that kind of stuff.
I think you're
Josh
still
Baker.
missing their second best receiver there. I think Jaden Reed's their wide receiver too.
Thank you. So even adding to my point there is, what if the offense takes another step? Do we really think that other teams are going to run against them then? If they're
Two
putting
things
up,
for this.
I do.
What's that?
They're
Two
gonna
things
try
for
to.
this.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Alex. Go.
Go ahead.
You stop a great offense by controlling the clock. How do you control the clock run game? That's
true. Yes.
Rule number one.
Yep.
With number two, we just listed all those receivers. 3 of those Green Bay receivers last year, top 15 in drops. So they got to change a lot offensively as far as wide receivers and their ability to actually catch the ball goes. And then the only consistent offensive player Green Bay has is Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
Jordan Love plays like an MVP candidate for half a season, and it's typically the second half of the season. It's right around Halloween. He flips the switch and learns how to play quarterback. That first half of the season, though, he plays below average football at the quarterback position. He is terrible as far as turnovers go. Makes it so his numbers look decent by the end of the year, but that's because about Halloween on, he's hardly turning the ball over. So there's so many variables with Green Bay that, like, at their peak, they could absolutely be a Super Bowl contender. But there's just too many ifs. Like, if this happens, if these guys play like this, if this guy plays like this, to put them in that discussion. Are they a playoff team? Absolutely. They were a playoff team last year, and you got probably one of the top 5 defensive players in the NFL. Yeah. There's no dodging that.
No.
But it's just, to me, schematically, it almost got easier to attack Green Bay's defense.
It definitely does. Like, if you go through the schedule that they got this year now, I think that would be the better question is, how many running backs are out there on their schedule this year? And then even later on to the season, like predicting, say, like maybe 1 or 2 games where that running back probably won't be there if they're a good one, right?
Baltimore.
Go ahead.
Play Baltimore this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, you're fucked when you play Baltimore.
And they play Philly.
Minnesota twice. Philly.
So Aaron Jones, I mean, that's his old team. So yeah,
Jordan Mason, the backup too.
And
if Aaron Jones is hurt, Jordan Mason.
Yeah. So give Green Bay. I think Green Bay, Minnesota split 1 apiece anyway. I think Green Bay, Detroit split 1 apiece. I think Detroit split 1 apiece. I think Chicago and Detroit also split 1 apiece. I think Chicago gets the win in Detroit though. That's the one that I know that Alex would be pissed off about. It'd be kind of like if Michigan won a national title, but the only loss on that record was against Ohio State. It just wouldn't.
Yeah, that'd be gross.
Kind of like Ohio State.
Yeah, kind of like what just happened last year. But anyways, I have us splitting with Minnesota and Chicago, given the fact that it's road games week 17, 18. I think if we played Green Bay later in the season on the road, I think we lose that. The fact that it's Lambeau week 1, and then they come to us for right around Thanksgiving there, which we figured out Thanksgiving. See if it goes 2 years in a row that we can win there. But going to Green Bay week 1 doesn't worry me nearly as much as week 10 and on, because like I just said, Jordan Love plays like shit at the start of the season. So I think we do sweep Green Bay more just based on when the games are played and where they're played. But I do have a splitting with Minnesota and Chicago losing back-to-back games down the regular season.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, my concern with Green Bay is not not with Micah Parsons. It's Jordan Love. Can he put together a full season? And I'll give you another concern too about Green Bay. They lost Jair Alexander.
Yeah, they have no secondary outside of Xavier McKinney.
Exactly. So you can, you got Jared Goff in that division. If Caleb can develop, get better, he can
in that
grow.
Ben Johnson offense. That's Chicago actually worries me the most in that division.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta see. It's up to Caleb. He has to play well.
For me, it's more so the familiarity Ben Johnson has with us. That's the main thing.
It does, and you're right, but it also has to be Caleb. He can't.
Yeah, Caleb has to play well.
He has to play well. If he does not play well, Alex, it won't matter what Ben Johnson does with him. I mean,
now to add also to that though as well, and it's no shot at him because he used to play on Detroit either. I think what's going to allow Caleb's development to succeed a lot, especially like say with Jordan Love being able to do what he's done, say the last couple of seasons, or at least last year anyway, or what some of these other young guys is going to do, is if you have a running back that can save your ass, like if you have somebody that can actually like put it off on their back for a little bit, then you have a good shot. Swift didn't believe
in him though.
What's that?
I don't. History with what Ben Johnson's done shows me he doesn't trust DeAndre Swift.
That's
he did one year with Swift and said, "Get him the hell out of here." Yep. And even that year he was there, they started relying so much more on Jamal Williams than they did DeAndre Swift. So I don't. And all offseason they were looking for another running back. So I'm just like, do they really believe in DeAndre Swift?
That's the reason I think that if there's going to be any Caleb Williams, like besides his actual play, if you don't get the best out of DeAndre Swift or the Roschon Johnson, which I believe is the backup, then you may not even get like 6-11 out of Chicago. We might be talking this time next
probably
year.
5-12.
Yeah, but we also could be talking about Ben Johnson approaching the Chicago Bears and being like, "We need to draft a new quarterback," and then being like, "Well, I don't know about that," and he'd be like, "Well, I'm going to start Tyler Bagent then."
Yeah, but you brought in Ben Johnson. Why? To develop
for Caleb
Williams, and that shows you
they go at least 2 years.
Then you go hire Cliff,
and because
you're gonna fire Ben after 1 year, he can come back to Detroit. We'll take him back.
No, well, how did that work out with Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray? I mean, that's why Cliff was brought in, and it failed.
That offense was still fun to watch, though. Like the air raid offense he brought for like a good 2, kind of 3 years there was fun to watch. It's just his culture
until week 11 when they forgot how to play football.
Well, and his blatant spending, like the stuff that kind of came out afterwards, where it's like these college coaches are getting reality checks when they come to the NFL, and they've been given the silk fucking red road here. Like Chip Kelly, it's almost every flipping Philadelphia Eagles podcast you listen to, they shit on Chip Kelly. And I'm supposed to believe that he's being given the reins for the Raiders when Pete Carroll's done. I don't know about that. And
that's a smart move.
No. And then same thing with, who I was just talking about, because now I'm having a brain fart there with
Cliff Kingsbury.
Thank you. Is he was driving the luxury cars, and he had the picture of his house and all that kind of stuff, and even the Cardinals people were like, between our facility and him and stuff like that, like what are we doing here? Like no wonder nobody wanted to play for that. But then all of a sudden, on a random 3-second play on a Sunday night and stuff like that, you got an 82-yard Kyle Murray freaking bomb to, was it Dortch or Michael Wilson back in the day there? Like, it was still fun, and he could still do good. some of these offensive coordinators and these college guys just need to understand that maybe you're better to just be with the quarterback and the offense instead of leading this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, John Spytek, who's now the GM with the Raiders, was with the Bucs. He's the assistant GM with Jason Light.
Yeah.
He's not going to be dumb enough to make Chip Kelly the next head coach.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, they're working together here. I live in Vegas. I know they're, Spytek's good. There's a reason why he got this job. He knows what he's doing.
Of course.
So,
To be honest, I'm surprised it took that long for him to get a job. Like,
yeah.
I think me and Ben understand too. I think the Bucs really were trying to keep as much talent in house. I don't think they wanted their talent to be sniffed out as much as it did. And between our offensive coordinators, player personnel, spy tech, we still got other dudes in our organization that now fucking Miami and a couple other people have started sniffing out. It's like, leave us alone. I like
that's
Baker.
Exactly how I feel, believe me.
And I need to state this for Ben and a lot of other Buccaneer fans out there, like Christopher Cole and everybody else watching and stuff like that. 2 years ago when Baker came here, I was like, I'm not necessarily for it. I'm not for the whole attitude thing. Guess what? He turned around and his attitude thing turned into the attitude that a football player should have for the fucking organization. He's not a snarky, cocky son of a bitch. He is,
but in a good way.
That's what I mean. He's not push offish. The same thing Todd Bowles just did to Jenna Lane, he's done. And it's almost an infectious, like, we don't need to be stepped on anymore. And anytime he's asked about the Saints, he has to say he fucking hates them in the sentence. You're a lifer, buddy. You were here for quite a long time because this is still a Glazer team, until you have an injury and we inevitably go draft another quarterback from probably either the Gators or the Seminoles.
Well, that's what made our front office so good, Andrew, is that, keep in mind, we got Baker Mayfield for a bargain.
$1
billion.
Even the extension was a steal. Let's be real.
Is $100 million.
That's brilliant front office stuff right there.
He's getting paid as much as Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
That is insane. Mayfield's a top 10 quarterback easily.
Yeah, and if he keeps it up, guys, he's going to get paid. Jason Light's going to have to pay
after this season, he's going to get paid a ton.
Yeah, because it's just going to go. The salary's just going to go up. So,
Now, to be fair, I think he understands the whole. I don't need to be like Dak and all these guys and take 60 plus. Let me take 45 to 50 and allow the rest of the team to be built around me.
And not only that, Alex, but the state tax. There's no state tax in
Florida. Exactly.
So it does work out.
You can take this and actually make more than a lot of these other guys.
But also, with Mike Evans again, like him, you would think, oh my God, this guy's underpaid. 2 years, million, God, that's a bargain. Because look at the receivers, CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson. Look how much Jamar Chase. Those guys are making twice as much as Mike Evans. But Evans, again, team first kind of guys. So
always.
And that's what
Brady did it. Brady did it, and it's
a big reason why he has 7 Super Bowls.
And he brought that mentality. And I hate to bring up the name because whether we like to admit it or not, it did definitely help us. Is Antonio Brown did take a bit of a pay cut.
Yeah,
the Bucs as well. Gronk took a pay cut to make sure the trade was done to come to the Bucs. Bruce Arians literally moved over for Todd Bowles to take the job. There is just something different about the Bucs, and it's not us being biased a bit. Like, even if I was an outside person being like, I'm like, if you look at what Tampa Bay has done, they're basically doing what Seattle did before when Pete Carroll was there. It's just Todd Bowles and Jason Light and all that are not 70 fucking years old. And I'm like, dude, you need to go. I understand that you're good, but you need to go.
I will say this though, Andrew. The Bucs, I do think, need to win at least a playoff game this year. Start to take those next steps, because if they don't do that, then you got to wonder, okay, Are we in that same situation we were in the late 90s, early 2000s when we had a guy named Tony Dungy as our head coach, where, yes, we had great seasons, but we didn't quite meet the expectations that, as talented as a team we were. I'm not saying you're going to fire Todd after this year if you don't win a playoff game, but you're going to start having those conversations, and maybe the front office might think, is this the best you can get out of us, Todd? Like, do we need to possibly go in a different direction? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I'll do 1 minute on this because I it goes into what I've predicted with the South. I think we're still at 10-17, but I think because the way that everything breaks out and because the way that there are other teams out there that are good, like Minnesota is going to probably come up, Detroit's going to be the same and stuff. I have us just missing out the playoffs at 10-7. If something like that were to happen, or even if we got a 7 seed and a first round exit, whether we had to play Atlanta or any of those teams, it does become that awkward conversation because I think that the ownership now likes winning. And I think that it's become infectious enough, and this is going to sound very weird to people who don't understand European football. I think it's become infectious enough that they don't give a fuck about Manchester United, and they've spent a little bit more time on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that should never, ever happen.
You got Ben going now.
I'm going to stop you right there. First, we got a lot to unpack here on this as far as the Glazers. First of all, I don't think it's so much the Glazers didn't not like winning. It's just they got involved too much. And when that happens, that affects, the team.
Yeah,
when they brought, Jason Light in and Bruce Arians, and that's when they said, okay, we're hands off now. We're going to Bruce Arians knows it. Even Bruce probably told him, hey, you brought me in for a reason. Let me do my job. Yep. That's what he did. So that's part of it. Now, you're right, Andrew. I have this rule for ownership, for owners that own multiple sports teams. I don't like it because
I agree.
Sometimes the focus is more on one team than the other. And what's even worse, Andrew, I am a Manchester United soccer
You and
fan.
me both.
I was going to say that
you set that up. The embarrassing thing I saw this past Wednesday was really embarrassing. I've never been more embarrassed. You lose to a team like Grimsby Town, who's a League Two.
Who the fuck is that? Ben?
I mean, I think Amorium's playing for his job on Saturday, Burnley, because the board of governors for Manchester United this week. I know we're off track here.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
But they're going to have a meeting during the international break. Now, Amorium his team better put out a good performance this weekend.
Yes.
Against Burnley, a team that just got promoted to Premier League.
Yep.
They only have 1 point so far this season. 29 points in 29 matches, 28 points for Amorium. It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. It is unacceptable. Even as myself just getting back into the Euros again, that's one of the reasons why I said that is because it's unacceptable. So this is where I agree with you and we add on to it. Throughout history, every time the Bucks have been very, very good, either won a championship or, had that kind of quick little thing. It's always been about either 3 to 5 years. Doesn't usually last, 97 to 2002, give me a second when I want to say this properly. It was somewhere in the 80s where we had that 3-year run where it was,
Early
80s. With Rice and all that kind of stuff. We have never had this. We had the Brady era, and then right after the Brady era, we still kept winning. And I think the Glazers right now are addicted to that. I think they are like, okay, so we got this right. So now the third stage that comes in, we need to keep doing this. We need to keep being the Patriots. We need to keep being the Green Bay Packers. We need to keep being one of those iconic teams. We need to keep being able to do the weird thing, trading for John Gruden. We need to keep doing the weird thing, bringing in a 40-year-old quarterback, because those are the things that got our 2 titles up on the rafters. For me, what I'm scared about is what they are going to do next. Is if they were like, to Jason and like, you're taking a quarterback. And it's like, why? Like, we have Baker. Why would you do that? You're taking a quarterback. We're stepping in now. We're going to, You know what I mean? That's if Manning was there, you know what I mean? Like if something were to happen and Manning's there, organization steps in, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing that as a major hypothetical. But
I don't know about that, Andrew. I think the Glazers do realize now that, okay, we got smart football people running our team. We're not going to listen. I think Baker is going to be there a while, guys. He's only like 30 years old.
He's there until the end of his career, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
he's going to Drew Brees himself out of the league. I agree.
Yeah. And I really hope we can get one with Baker.
I also agree with that. I want him.
One.
Yeah. I enjoy him more than I did Tom Brady in Tampa. I hate to say it, but I enjoy Baker more. I feel like he's embraced it. I'm not saying Tom Brady didn't, but Tom Brady's just a different breed.
It's the first time. It's the first time I've heard someone say it, though, like how you're saying it, and I don't disagree with it at all. Because when we watch Brady stuff, it's almost as if we were expected to win. Yeah. It's almost as if, like, okay, we have Brady, we have Gronk, we have Brett, we have this deep, we have to, yeah, we're fucking no duh, we win. With Baker, though, it was a question mark. It was like, yeah, are we gonna win on Sunday? Like, is he the? And now, like, yeah. Like you're not wrong. I like the fact that he's stiff arming the dude, running down to the sideline, and still getting the ball off on a 4th down play. Like fuck yeah.
Well, Baker with you guys is such a great fit, and it's a big reason why I think I said this before we started the show with you, that I think it's Philly, Detroit, and Green Bay, Philly, Detroit, and Tampa all together at the top. I think those 3 teams. I don't think there's much separation there between those 3. And then I think the step down comes from there. But what Tampa's done, building that roster and then dropping Baker in, and Baker having the rejuvenation that he's had, I think it's a legit discussion for Tampa to win the NFC every year.
You're not wrong. I would love it. Like, duh. Christopher Cole's got 12-5, 9-8 for Carolina, 9-8 for for Atlanta.
I like that. Carolina's my surprise team this year. I think they're going to be better than most people think. You know,
I also agree.
Now Bryce Young's got to again develop. Remember last year, we should have lost that game in Carolina. If it wasn't for oh god, what's his forget
the name of the Canadian. It's all fine. Chuba Hubbard. Yes. Not him.
Anthony. Chuba Hubbard, you know, he would have ran for that touchdown. He stripped the ball from him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because Carolina played us tough in that game.
That they did.
We blew them out at home a couple weeks later. But this is a team last year. They took Kansas City to the overtime, I believe.
Yep.
Or close to it.
Yep.
I mean, they played teams tough. And bringing Bryce back as the starting quarterback gained all the confidence in the world. So, you know, this team's going to be better. I do. And that's the team. Atlanta, I think, is overrated. I'm sorry.
I do too. I don't see it.
Okay, let's talk about that then, because I'm very high on Atlanta. Atlanta's starting to get like the Philadelphia vibes from me, just because of the way that their head coach is starting to treat this, like everything, like how it doesn't matter what position you're playing. It doesn't matter if you're 3rd on the depth chart and stuff like that. You step in, you're ready to go, and you're a fucking man. Like you are an Atlanta Falcon, and the ownership's kind of getting in there too. I know the curse is still there, and I know they got a rookie quarterback. I do think though, this might be one of the only times in a weird situation where, like, if Penix is given the starting job, which he is going to be given the starting job week 1, I think that's obviously who we are getting. If he beats the Bucs week 1 and continues to go on a streak, even if he gets hurt, Kurt can come in and continue the streak that they would be able to go on. They do have missing pieces in some very key positions. I do think if I'm not mistaken, it's their left tackle that does need to get a little bit better, because the right side seems to be flipping amazing.
They had an injury, major injury to one of their guys on the.
That's also true. Yes.
Yeah.
Now the trading for James Pierce. Alex and I were very low on him for our draft coverage because of some stuff that we were kind of reading from outside of football. Atlanta felt as though they don't give a fuck. His play on the field, we can deal with everything else, just like every other team's deals with shit.
If they really felt that, then why didn't they take him at 15? If they really truly felt that he was that good,
because they wanted, was it Walker?
Jalen Walker.
Yeah, they wanted. What? I would much rather have Walker than all of James Pierce. But then 9 picks later, if I'm that close in draft capital, okay, yeah, I'd take James Pierce.
Why? To give it doesn't make sense to me. Giving up that much to go get that guy, that there's a very strong chance he pisses off Raheem Morris, and Raheem Morris just says, "There's the bench."
So
multiple times this year.
I think the Carter situation. It's Carter, right? It's Jalen Carter for Philadelphia, the defensive tackle.
Yeah,
that he had the issues coming out as well, like the possible death of the guy in the car and all that kind of stuff, and just any issue of Georgia people driving. Can anybody go check on just the news in general while this show is going on in Georgia to see if any college student has been pulled over in the last fucking hour?
There's probably been 2 DUIs by Georgia football players in the last hour.
Thank you.
No, actually, it's 3. I just
shit, my bad.
Confirmation. And then by the time the show's done, we've got our 4th or 5th. So
the difference, though, with Jalen Carter and James Pierce, when Jalen Carter got on the field, he wasn't a cancer. When he was in the locker room, he wasn't a cancer. The dude made stupid decisions off the field. James Pierce Jr. very strongly looked like a cancer to Tennessee on the field and in the locker room, where they pulled him off in situations because of his attitude.
This is true.
Why would you give up that much to go get this guy in the first? You gave the Rams a chance to go get their quarterback next year because you so badly wanted a cancer on your team. Like this whole situation.
Some things can change, of course.
Yeah, but I gotta believe it to see it. Or I gotta see it to believe
agree.
It. You know? It's just there's so many guys that we haven't seen much from that we're just banking on them being good in Atlanta.
For
them to be that good.
Big contract. AJ Trill, didn't he get a big contract recently?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
Like,
what's he?
But
I don't think he's that.
Are we really sure that Michael Penix is the guy?
I do. So I am.
I like him, but we saw 3 games.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that's a major reason they didn't move on from Kirk either, because I don't think they truly know that he's their guy.
Now,
but was that
you're
because
right.
They feel that way? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Was it because of that, or was it they just couldn't find somebody to trade him to? You know,
but if you were
that contract,
but then why wouldn't you just do what Denver did? Just cut ties. This is our guy. We're sticking with him. Bye, Kirk. There's the door.
So, because you know my thing, and sorry to cut you off, Ben. I've always said 2 quarterbacks is better than 1 quarterback, only because if your one quarterback goes down, you always got the other one, and it's been proven throughout history. Joe Montana, Steve Young, Matt Castle, Tom Brady, like the list goes on and on.
Have you ever heard of this
Matt Castle, Tom Brady? Are we really throwing that in there?
Matt Castle got 11-5, and they were screwed out of the playoffs. Okay,
and then they shipped him off to Kansas City, and he did jack shit. Okay, Matt Castle is not a good quarterback. He had a great team around him. He is not a good quarterback.
We're just throwing names of people.
He went to Andy Reid and did nothing.
Fair.
I mean, that's where Kyle Trask's trajectory is. He's just gonna go around the league and be a journeyman.
Yeah.
But
I feel so bad for Kyle Trask. I now understand why somebody
he didn't show it to give any faith in him.
Right. But you know what? I do feel bad in the sense that back in 2022, when Brady retired the first time, the plan, I mean, this is again speculation.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna go with Kyle Trask, right? Because you drafted him 2021. Well, then what, 40 days later, Brady decides, you know what, I'm going to come back. Well, and
they realized how good of a decision it was to have Brady.
Was it then? Because we went 8-9 despite making the play. His heart was just not in it.
No, that was such a bad season.
he went off to the Bahamas for a
Yeah.
family vacation during training.
His wife was getting dicked by the was it
Taekwondo.
Muay Thai? Like, no wonder. Like, yeah, I came back like I'm all ready to go. What is my wife doing? It's week 4 and I'm playing fucking Rams or something like that. And like, what is she doing? Like,
And then he's going to Robert Kraft's wedding or some reception party 2 days before the Steelers game.
You got Bill Belichick calling you, being like, "Can you please come back? I need you. Like, I fucking need you, please."
That's why you ended up going for Jordan in North Carolina, is because Brady looks like he's 22, and then
Well, and not only that, but in all seriousness, Ryan Jensen, when he got hurt in training camp, that was the guy.
That was it was done. Yeah,
and Brady's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get killed."
Ali Marpet.
Yeah, he's
just
retired.
before that too. Yeah,
and Tom Brady's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get killed out there this year. I gotta throw the ball away. Right when I get the ball, I gotta throw it away because they're gonna come out right after."
And you can't. I don't get. I would. You bring Jameis Winston back. You bring Josh fucking Freeman back at this point. You don't ever put up a 0 burger against the New Orleans Saints. You don't ever put up a 0 burger against the fucking Aints.
Wasn't that 9-0? That was such a gross game.
It was such a bad. I was screaming at my TV the whole time. I'm like, what? And the Kim went upstairs. She was like, I'm closing the door. The kids are gonna think Daddy's losing his shit. And I was
gonna say you were.
I definitely was.
Oh man, he made the team, didn't he? The Giants.
He did.
Yep.
Wow.
He did.
It's all 3 quarterbacks. They cut Danny DeVito.
Patriots, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Tommy DeVito, not Danny DeVito. I just realized I said Danny.
You were right the first time.
And Tommy ended up in New England.
Yes.
He's on the practice roster. Yeah, Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets going to be with Vrabel. So let's start. I want to talk about the Lions here a little bit because I obviously got Alex on. And everybody, we've joked with Alex the whole entire offseason. Be like, well, you lose Ben Johnson and you lose Aaron Glenn. They're literally running their own squads. And now can Dan Campbell actually keep, biting kneecaps and doing all the shit, then keep the whole hoorah that's going on in Detroit? My prediction is Detroit's going to get over the hump here soon. And I think it is this year. I think if they get the right route to get there, I think they can. I think if you can get Minnesota or Green Bay in the first round, you probably are good there.
To stay healthy,
they have to
play second tier defense because they ran out of starters.
And just kick field goals, Alex. You should have been there already instead of the 49ers.
Here's the one thing I saw. I can't remember who the guy is that does it, but there's a guy that tracks your rest every season.
Yeah.
And we're the team with the best, I guess you would call it rest differential. We play so many more games that we have more rest than the other guys, which I think is huge because last year we were near the bottom of that. But we have a lot of Thursday to Thursday or Thursday to the following Sunday. There's a lot of matchups like that. And situationally, I think it works out well for us here. We get a lot of those tough games out early. We play Baltimore right off the bat. Philly is right around the trade deadline. I think Kansas City's week 6, which is right before Rashee Rice comes back, which I love that. But right around the trade deadline is when we should get Aleem McNeil back healthy. So that's a fresh body in right in the middle of the trenches. Tyleik Williams, our first-round pick, has the experience in the nose. You pair those two together, and I cannot wait for that. If Hutchinson stays healthy, I think this defense is fine. There's enough depth in the secondary and at linebacker and defensive tackle now. Edge is really the only place we don't have that depth. We still have one roster spot left. I do think Zadarius Smith gets signed before the start of the season here and works his way back into the rotation. They've been talking on and off all off season. And I believe it was his girlfriend, who's some sort of rapper or something, said it's Detroit or nothing for him this year. So I do believe he ends up back in Detroit, and I do believe it happens soon. Like I told Andrew earlier, I can't remember if it was before the show or during the show, Aaron Glenn had this Lions defense statistically right around the top 10 with all those players out of the lineup. So I think if you get half those players healthy for the entire season, I think this ends up a top 10 defense. They were building up Kelvin Shepard to take over the defense from the time he got hired in 2021 there with Dan Campbell. The plan was Glenn's going to get a head coaching job. You're going to be the DC. They kept that rolling. John Morton, our offensive coordinator, was here 2 years ago and then went back with Sean Payton last year to be the passing game coordinator, takes over this year, has a lot of experience with obviously Dan Campbell and those guys from their time in New Orleans together, has a lot of experience with Goff and St. Brown and those guys from the 2 years he was here previously. And he said not much is going to change. He sat with Goff and St. Brown and Gibbs, a lot of the core guys on the offense, and Dan Campbell. And the 5 or 6 of them came up with 95% of the offense. And then he added a little bit of the stuff he likes. So I don't expect much change overall. The one thing I would expect is probably fewer trick plays. I don't think there's going to be as many as trick plays, which I'm kind of all right with. Because this offense is just so fucking good. Just pound the rock, let Jared Goff use that play action, and just take over games.
Ben is gonna do it to you guys first game, first play, first fucking
I'm expecting
drive.
Minimum 2 trick plays in that first game.
I minimum 2 trick plays in the first drive. Minimum. I think he comes out and does.
No, they're only going to get 3 plays on that first drive, so it's fine.
No, well, I think they come out with like Tyler Bajan and Caleb Williams in a weird shotgun like set with both tight ends kind of like off a bit. Just like they're going to do something stupid, and then they're going to do some
really weird shit.
Yeah, they're going to fumble the fucking ball.
That's
Go ahead, Ben.
why I'm a little worried about the Bears as well this year. If Ben Johnson, and it's his first time as a head coach, can he kind of resist doing so many of those things? Because he doesn't have the experience that he did in Detroit last year, where he can get away with that. And Goff is a very good quarterback, so you can get away with some of it. You got dynamic playmakers with St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, those guys that can do those kind of plays. Jamison Williams,
Ben does have a couple of those guys.
I think he has a lot of those other pieces.
Odunze and Loveland are going to be really
DJ
fun
Moore.
to watch. And we all know
Luther
what DJ
Burden.
Moore can do. DJ Moore is basically just your utility weapon.
DeAndre Swift, Swift.
If it's a big if, because yes, he did good in Philly. The offensive line is better and stuff like that. They could take this year and just if 6-11, 7-10, whatever. I know people are like, oh, I hate when you say the next year thing, but everybody else next year, is going to be going after like the quarterbacks, the cornerbacks, and the wide receivers that could be possibly coming out of the next year's
big
draft.
run on offensive tackles too.
And
There's a massive offensive tackle group next.
And Clemson's defense, by the way, like all of Clemson's defense is probably going in the first and second half of the second round there. Or
Clemson's probably going to have 15, 16 draft picks next year.
Yeah.
That roster is that good.
You know who's going to go under the radar and probably be available at Chicago's pick?
Running backs.
Love from Notre Dame. Singleton.
I was going to say I disagree with Love, but either the Penn State running backs, yes.
Yeah.
I think Jeremiah Love's gone by like 12.
I think that's another Ashton Genty pick if he ends up being that good again. I did my whole
last night. By the way,
what's that, Ben?
How did Boise State do last night?
Oh my God!
And
they got destroyed.
I've ever seen with the fake punt for the deep was like spot on, man. That was one of my favorite plays of the night. Good for South Florida. I think they're going to be a good team.
Yeah,
that's a nasty team this year.
You know that who that's also good for? Our boy Peter Blake, who's got like he's right in there now. So like, can you imagine if they won a bowl game? Peter Blake is in there, like, and they just grab him.
Andrew, I mean, you grill it. Is it Gillish? That's his last name. The head coach, Alex
Golash or Gaulish or however you say it.
Yeah, he's turned that program around. I mean, look what they did to Alabama last year. They almost won that game.
Took them to their absolute limit.
Yeah. And who beat who was the SEC documentary there, the big upset game that happened last year? Was it Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt, yeah.
Vanderbilt beat Bama, yeah.
UCF is just screaming upset against somebody coming up. Like Alabama, I'm not saying Alabama necessarily, not saying Oregon, especially not Oregon. After seeing that clip of Oregon and Colorado, I don't think you can break Oregon. I don't. Oregon.
Ask Alec.
There's somebody that some guy named there's a Navy guy that will tell you.
Not taking shots at Alec here and stuff like that, but usually homers and stuff like that who aren't winning, and I'm not saying this to be mean, Alec, but usually homers who aren't winning national championships are going to be a little bit pissed off at what is currently happening when you're watching, TCU get to the championship.
I mean, but here's the thing. One team out of 136 can win the national championship every year.
And Alabama won it 7 in 10 years, 11 years?
Yeah, but then they sorry to say this, SEC fan, but they started allowing paying players everywhere, and suddenly the SEC can't win anything anymore.
You're damn right. It's almost as if we were just cheating the whole fucking time.
And Nick Saban's like, screw this, man. I'm out of here.
When players came asking him for more money after we beat them, he's just like, nope.
My Aflac money's starting to run out. I can't compete here. I got to get that Dr. Pepper money or something. Like the Aflac money's not enough.
Me and Alex, since we met, both agreed that college players should be getting money. We also both agreed that they shouldn't be getting even close to the type of money that they are currently getting before they get to the
like salary cap, like what they should.
Arch Manning right now, okay, this is going to sound so weird. Mm-hmm. Arch Manning this year right now will have made more money than Connor McDavid did in his first 6 years in the NHL.
Yep.
And he's not in the NFL.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. No wonder. And for the hockey guys out there, no wonder Connor Bedard said, fuck you guys, I'm signing with Gatorade. Like, yeah, get your money, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, real quick with the hockey, what's going on with McDavid? Did he get a new deal?
Nope.
No.
Nothing's happened yet.
Are you Wayne Gretzkying?
Oh, God, no.
I think it totally depends on if they've got a legit shot to win this year.
I do think, because me and Alex are out here. We hear all the Oiler fans. Kyle all of a sudden just heard us talking about this, turned the show on, and is ready to type "fuck off."
He subconsciously heard the name Connor McDavid, and he's like, "Oh, where?" Like bat signal. Like,
is Andrew talking about McDavid being on the Maple Leafs again? Like, no, I'm talking about him going to the Golden Knights. Keyboard. Like, the best comment I heard online was, you would never hear Nathan McKinnon or Sidney Crosby saying what Connor did when he was asked about his contract situation. Yeah. Nathan McKinnon and Crosby would be like, I play for the Colorado Avalanche or Pittsburgh Penguins, and I am under contract. Thank you. Connor McDavid did
They've
not.
Also won a championship.
Yeah. Connor McDavid implied there, like, I'm here for a year. They're not going to trade me. I'm basically their rental piece for a Stanley Cup run. And then I'm more than likely a free agent and going to be the first NHL player to crack 20 million. Deservingly fucking so.
The Oilers, their cup runs over with. They had 2 chances, can't get it done.
Florida was okay. I don't know about that. And it's only because they have enough cap space where they can make a run for like another Zach Hyman mid-season trade type thing. And if Zach Hyman isn't injured, I think that goes to 7 again. And I do think they still lose in game 7, but I still think that goes to 7.
Didn't I tell you, Andrew, in that I think it was one of your posts, I said Hyman was going to be the key to that series if
Yes.
you lost him. And look what happened. I mean, Florida's physicality just broke them. And
done.
Yep.
You know, Florida, oh my God, they're so good.
And they locked everybody up.
Yeah.
They're going to be very good for 5-6 more years because the core is there for 5-6 more years.
And the Golden Knights are like, you're welcome. We made Florida a 2 times. We got them, you know. So, oh, by the way, we did get a Maple Leaf in the offseason.
Listen,
I knew Marner was going there.
The Golden Knights, the second that they won their Stanley Cup, it basically showed Florida, like, we can do it our way then. Like, we literally can do this. Yeah. They're our style of hockey. They got Eichel, they got their scorer, and it worked. We have Reinhart. We have Bennett. It worked. Yeah. And now everybody else is doing it. And you know who I think is going to start everybody wants to start getting physical. Dallas is going to probably win the Stanley Cup next year or be in like the top 4 again because
they're the final 4, I think.
Yeah, they're getting physical as fuck now.
Well, did they let Pete DeBoer go?
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Because he can't get.
I know a lot of people disagree with me on that. Fuck them. Okay, Dan Bylsma's still out there for crying out loud. Like, who cares?
I know.
Who did they end up getting?
They promoted, if I'm not mistaken. Because fucking the only one that I laughed the hardest, and now I got myself going again, is when I heard that the Chicago Blackhawks hired Jeff Blashill. I was like,
oh, I know.
You guys really know how to root an organization, eh? Like, congratulations.
Okay, Detroit guys, you're Red Wings fans. What is going on, guys? All
right, this has been North Sports Dynasty. Thank you, everybody.
I pushed the button, didn't I?
No. Me and Alex, I'm not going to speak fully for Alex, but both of us have kind of like, we're on the cusp. We hate Philadelphia from 2 years ago because they pulled the goalie with 7 minutes to go. I understood that you had to do it to go to the playoffs, but also fuck you.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. Last year, if we didn't let St. Louis come back and win 2-1 in overtime, we go to the playoffs and Calgary goes to the playoffs. Calgary plays Edmonton in the first round. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
We didn't have goaltending. We had zero goaltending.
Yeah. And now we have goaltending.
Yes.
We have Gibson and Talbot. We have 2 old guys who will be replaced by the 2 young guys in 2 to 3 years.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Go make a run with these 2 old goalies.
Yes. And if you have to trade Kosa to get another piece and let Augustine be our number 1, I don't care.
No, you've got the 2 young goalies. Don't fuck this up.
I know, Augustine is the guy. I am watching Augustine, and Augustine is the guy.
I wholeheartly agree with you.
Yeah, yes.
But you can't just have 1 goalie and nobody else. There's got to be 2 goalies.
I know, but also like because we spent a first round on Kosa, I'm like, it's almost as if he's going to be given like the number 1 reins for a little bit. And I'm like, listen, if Trey Augustine comes in there and beats Montreal in his first game, he's my starter forever. Because that's where I'm at. Okay. So Ben, to answer the question, if we make it to the playoffs and we start being competitive, I'm okay with that. If we start losing in the first round for the next couple years to allow some of the other young guys to come in and feel competitive, like Axel Sandin Pellikka, who I cannot fucking wait till he's there. And Trey Augustine, and even some of the other like Finnish guys and the other Swedish guys. Okay, sure. But if we don't make the playoffs this year, Steve Yzerman has to go.
Okay.
I'm done. I've waited. I let ownership do it with the last GM and before they died, and they were like, we just want to pay all of our guys because that they won us our last cup and all that. I accepted that. And then bringing Daddy home and stuff, I also accepted. I cannot accept 10 years of not playoffs, man.
I agree with that, but at the same time, if the story is let the young guys grow, then we can't be like, if the young guys grow, but we don't make playoffs. Like, you've got to kind of set the line where the year we don't worry about the young guys anymore and we go for it? Or are we still letting the young guys grow? There's too many people that are like, wait, we need all these young guys to develop, which means play the young guys. Then they're like, oh, we have too many inexperienced guys and we missed the playoffs. It's like, well, that's what you're asking for. So there's gotta be one or the other. You can't have both.
Now can fucking Hall and Chariot and Gustafson play like their goddamn contracts are saying? Paying $12.5 million.
Cut them out for the young guys now. Get them the fuck out of there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Doesn't Yzerman like kind of remind you of Brendan Shanahan in Toronto? Like,
yes,
it's just like,
yes.
It's I get into that. Yeah,
and they finally got rid of Shanahan.
I hate the fact that you said that because I've been thinking about that the last like little bit, and I'm like, I don't ever want to like admit it, but fuck me, it's starting just a little bit.
There's hints of that, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, it's sad to see because you had Austin Matthews is one of the best players. Oh, he doesn't show up in the playoffs. That's the problem. That's one of the problems. Marner finally got out of there. Tavares is way past his prime. I don't know why they brought him back. That's
because of the pajamas. It's the PJ's picture. They just wanted to keep it. They wanted to make, and also because Toronto right now is doing everything. In my honest opinion, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Toronto has got a good enough team right now where they can compete, and they have enough cap space at the end of this season where they can offer Connor McDavid $22.5 million if they wanted.
So in other words, they're just going to bring another great player to a team that's never going to do anything.
At that point, yes.
Because that seems like because they're owned, I believe, by the Maple Leaf sports network, right?
Do you know who owns that?
I don't know the name by
Rogers.
Yeah.
So
Rogers.
our phone company out here owns them, and they also own the Raptors and the fucking Blue Jays. And that's what they basically, and sorry to cut you off. That's what they, Tom Rogers, I think it's Tom Rogers. That's what he offered to Shohei Ohtani was a 0.5 ownership in the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Toronto Argonauts, and a 1% of the eventual royalties of a incoming NFL team. That was the offer to Shohei Ohtani.
And then Ohtani was like, I like the sunshine in LA.
1,000%. The story apparently goes
play for the Dodgers over the Blue Jays.
Like as soon as it was done, as soon as that conversation with Toronto was done, and Toronto basically was just like beat this offer, and Los Angeles was like, you mean technically all I have to do is defer like 90% of his contract until he's basically fucking done playing and shit like that, and he can get it.
It's the Bobby Bonilla effect.
And I just have to add. Yeah, I just have to add technically averagely, I think it was something like 8.75 or $8 or $9 million averagely every year more. And I get him done. Like, what are we talking about? And smart on them. Fuck yeah. Like you guys won the World Series. You're done. And now it's just like, how many can we win with them now?
I was going to say, they're right in the running for another one this year.
They're going to be there again.
And the year after.
When I get Ohtani, I said they better get at least two. And it's during this duration of it. As long as you get two, I'll be happy. More, that's playing with house money right there. I mean, I'll never complain.
If I'm not mistaken, the record in MLB is 3 championships in a row, right? Or has there been a 4-peat in MLB? Because I know hockey has 4-peat.
Right.
And I know that the Dodgers have said before too, they're like, we would love to break like literal records that have existed for a long time.
It depends how far back you want to go. If you're talking all time, the Yankees won 5 in a row.
Okay.
From 49 to 53.
Now, that also depends if the Dodgers pitching staff can stay healthy because that's been one of our bugaboos this year. Now, we just got Glasnow back.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler got let go by the Red Sox today. I'd be shocked if we try and bring him back into the fold for a minimum salary.
Why not?
For our post, but that's the key. I like Glasnow, but again, he's not always available. He gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I worry about. Now, do we have enough firepower offensively? Yes, but that can only go so far. Because listen, I mean, teams like the Blue Jays, teams like the Tigers, they got good pitching staffs. They don't have to rely always on hitting. Philly, you wonder when they're finally going to break through. I mean, it's not going to be easy, guys. The Dodgers, would I be shocked if they didn't win it this year? No. Because again,
they're gonna have to earn it to win it this year.
Milwaukee is really good.
Insane.
Milwaukee is starting to really.
San Diego's right on your tail there in the division.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego's a good team. So, like, I would not be shocked if it's a Detroit-Milwaukee World Series this year.
That'd be fun because it's two new teams, right? Like and it's not your New Yorks, your LAs, your Chicagos, your like.
I'm sorry. How long have the Tigers been around?
I'm talking the World Series picture. Okay. We last made the World Series 11 years ago, so I mean it's and we haven't won one. We haven't won one in 40 years.
Some baseball teams have never even sniffed like the Final Four.
But it's still
Pirates. Wait, no, they have.
It's still relatively new as far as what we've had lately.
Fair. Now, I was going to bring up this point before too, like when we were just talking, like kind of going back into football, right? You look at some of these teams that, like, what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they brought Brady in, they were like, "Why the fuck not? We've won a title, right? So let's try and do it again." Well, the Rams, when they've won their title, and they were like, "Fuck yeah, let's try it with Stafford. Let's try doing this and all that other kind of fun stuff." And then the Eagles with all this now. It's funny when you look at some of these teams who haven't won Super Bowls, like say, Minnesota, Detroit, and Buffalo. And if you look at the way that they're setting up their teams now with like Buffalo, I'm just going to use Buffalo for example. Buffalo's paying their guys right now, and Josh is under contract. If this, say, 4 or 5 year window of this team for Buffalo doesn't work, they still got Josh. They'll just draft and do it all over again and then finally pull the trigger and be like, okay, fine. What is the thing that Josh is going to need to get over the hump? A wide receiver and a corner? Fine. We'll trade all of our picks to go get exactly what he needs. Kind of like what with the Randy Moss situation, not as much of a package going that way.
I don't wonder though now, Buffalo's been so close so many times.
So
you
close.
have to start looking at Doug McDermott. If you can't get there,
how much longer until he gets the axe and they try and find?
They said, you know what, we need to get somebody else that can help Josh get over the top. But I'm not a curse guy. I don't believe in curses. But I always feel like there's just certain teams that are just never going to win it. Yes. And I think Buffalo is one of the Buffalo Bills.
No.
Are just one of those teams. They're just one of those teams.
As much as I love Buffalo, I agree.
No, I think it's Minnesota. I think it's
both of them.
True. And I don't want it to, because like I need this to be said like on live all the time. I don't hate any of these teams. Everyone knows the teams that I hate. They usually have black and gold or yellow on their jerseys. The Penguins, the Saints, and the Bruins, they all can go fuck off.
Steelers also fit that.
Steelers do. I've kind of grown accustomed. Like Sid, I don't hate Sid and I don't hate the Steelers. I do love to hate them when they're doing bad, and I do like to remind Sid that Baker did.
I like to pick on people's teams to pick at them. I don't necessarily hate the teams.
No. I grew up hating the Steelers like for a little bit there until I watched the Steelers Super Bowl against the Cardinals, and I just fell in love with football at that moment. Just in general. Talk about, and I will say this till the day I die, the greatest Super Bowl of all time. The greatest one. Because Larry Fitz showed that night why he should be in the Hall of Fame. Even though my things on him will always pop up on random people's stuff, and they'll be like, wait, Andrew hates Larry Fitzgerald? It's like, no, I just think that more accomplishments needed to technically happen in order for him to be a first ballot Hall of Fame. Though inevitably, my opinion doesn't matter. He is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's just the way it is. Just like most of
me was Rams and Titans.
That
fair,
one was
fair.
That's okay. Actually, okay, fair. So that's what's yours, Alex?
Oh man. I mean,
You're not wrong. That is when I think about that and you go back and watch it, it's that much. That and the Titans win a Super Bowl, guys.
And
I'm in that same sense and just trying to pick one that isn't one of the ones that both of you picked because those are probably my top two. I'll go Patriots Seahawks because right at the goal line, hand it off and you win the game.
I do always throw in, like, my second favorite was watching the Patriots versus the Giants, the first one.
Oh yeah, that's always a fun one.
Like, and go ahead, Ben.
I need a Lions-Bills Super Bowl one of these days.
That's my prediction, dude, because I want it so bad for him.
We need the Bucks right now.
I have one of those two teams in the Super Bowl. I'll say that.
We need this for you. Go ahead, Ben.
I don't have the Bills in there. I'm sorry. It's just they're just one of those teams, man. They just can never get over that. And I'm afraid. And Josh Allen's. I think he's a much better version of Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
that's how I look at Josh Allen.
Wow,
I like that
because of the quarterback, just the circumstances. Phillip Rivers just couldn't get over.
Really good quarterback. That's yeah.
You know, and I'll say this, and I hate to say it, but I think Phillip Rivers is overrated. I do. I'm sorry.
I don't disagree with you.
I just don't see it. I mean, will he get in the Hall of Fame one of these days? Probably.
Maybe.
But
he's good. He's a good, not great player.
I think Eli was a little better.
Like,
I disagree with that, Eli.
A little better. He beat Tom Brady twice. Not once, twice.
And he also has a career 500 winning percentage.
Had to. May we remind everybody that the very last game of his career, they did everything in their power to make fucking sure that he was at 500 by making sure he didn't play that game.
Eli, he had two great Super Bowl runs and then was average essentially almost every other year.
Fair, but who would you, if he had to come down to two quarterbacks, who would you put in the Hall of Fame first, Eli or Phillip Rivers?
Eli has to go in because this is my argument for no, because you cannot accurately tell the history of the NFL without mentioning Eli Manning.
You're not.
You can do it without mentioning Phillip Rivers.
Exactly.
Unless you're entering the draft day trade. That's the only
Yes. Now, that also being said, Antonio Gates, LaDainian Tomlinson, Vincent Jackson. Those names probably wouldn't be where they were and how prolific they were if it wasn't for Phillip Rivers.
LT, I strongly disagree with you on Gates, maybe.
Okay, so LT, fair on LT, ran 28 touchdowns in by himself. That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
But Antonio Gates, Vincent Jackson, may he rest in peace. God, do you remember when we had Vincent and Mike Evans? We had the
only question with that is if they didn't have Rivers, then who's throwing them the ball? That's the question.
They would have Drew Brees if they were smart enough. They would have.
Yeah.
With the shoulder injury gave him worries, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like the Bills, the Chargers. They seem to have great years, and then
they had a year where they had the number one offense, number one defense, and still missed the playoffs.
Who?
The Chargers in 2010.
That's right.
They had number one overall offense, number one overall defense, and still missed the playoffs.
And they were so close to beating the Patriots. That game against
in 07 with Phillips, with Rivers
that
with the torn ACL.
For just playoff games, we're not talking Super Bowl games. That one is one of my favorites. And as much as it got brought up to my attention by Alex before the show started and stuff, it is still one of my favorite playoff games, despite the loss for the Bucs, was the NFC Championship game the year after we won the Super Bowl against the Rams. That game was fucking awesome on all fronts.
It was in the second half.
That's what I mean, though. Is the chess match at the beginning that led to the second half made it one of my favorites. I fucking loved that game.
It was fun. We dug ourselves too big a hole in that game.
Way too big a hole.
we just couldn't.
Which we came out of, though. That's the thing that people forget. We got out of that fucking hole. And then the zero blitz and Stafford, we were so close.
Oh, and I just want to throw in a college football update here.
Uh-oh.
Army is in overtime with Tarleton State. They are tied at 24. Army and Tarleton State.
I think it's on ESPN Plus. Let me find it.
We don't have ESPN Plus. We have
we're not allowed to have ESPN Plus.
We have Tariff
a lot
Plus.
Of things, right? Although I do use I use your country as a VPN for a lot of things. So.
We do the same thing with yours. It's totally accepted. Do you see how we have this mutual trade agreement and stuff like that, and we don't need orange people like myself walking in here and fucking it all up?
Well, you're talking about orange people?
Orange people, about? Like gingers and other political leaders.
About hair or skin, which
just orange in general, like the hair color of the vice president, or just the color of the president in general. I'm just going.
Andrew Faubert, what are you talking about, orange people? You're talking about.
Hey, you can't be saying that, guy. Come on, Satan, it's fine.
Yes, I can. Let me tell you something. We're gonna have you speak American pretty soon, okay? I'm going to be buying Canada as well.
You're going to have to fight John Jones at the White House.
I can't wait for that. It's going to be incredible. John Jones, Tom Aspinall, low IQ. Can't stand him.
That's fine. Listen, listen, talk UFC here for 2 minutes. Can we get the heavyweight division back here, please? Does anybody remember the good old days when it was like George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machida, and then all of a sudden you heard of all these fucking amazing names in the heavyweight division, and you were like, you know what? I need to get to a Boston Pizza to go check out these fucking things. That's how old we are talking right now, okay? But that's what we were doing.
It's been a long time since the heavyweight division was good, yeah.
Yeah, like when fucking Cain Velasquez knocks out Brock Lesnar, and I'm sitting in the corner like what? Why don't we have that anymore? Why is it?
Because none of these guys seem to want to fight.
Fair.
It's the same 4 or 5 guys that seem to want to fight.
And those motherfuckers deserve to pay.
Very good, Alex. I like
that too.
I think it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
But he's fighting Cecil Game for his next
Who's
fight.
not bad.
Cyril Gane, yeah, he's gonna fight. He's not title good though.
No.
John Jones made him his bitch after not fighting for 3-4 years.
The Phillip Rivers of fighting.
No good. Who I'd like Aspinall to fight, and I don't think he deserves it either. Derek Lewis.
Yes.
Derek Lewis. Yes.
Just for the entertainment aspect, because the one thing about Lewis, he can, if he gets a fist in there, he can knock you out.
And if he knocks out Aspinall, I want Derek Lewis, White House, John Jones. You know what? Take my visa, take everything. I'm there. I'll put all my money on Derek Jones too. Don't give a fuck.
I'm thinking that Dana's hoping that he can do Jones and Alex Pereira at the White House, is my guess.
That would be cool. You know what else?
I'm thinking that's what he wants to do.
You know what else would be cool? Khabib McGregor.
Oh God! Well, Dana.
It's gonna be McGregor Chandler if McGregor fights. Let's be real.
Of course. He's gonna get Kobe Covington, Michael Chandler.
Do the Diaz trilogy fight. Do that at the White House.
Oh my God!
Why not?
Diaz brothers, dude, definitely bring him in. I don't care, dude, if they've been out of it for a while. Just bring one of them.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Connor and Nate. Do Connor and Nate.
Yep.
Do it again.
Yep.
They both want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
one more time.
Or I would like to see Michael Venom Page on that card too, since he should have been in the UFC 7 years ago doing exactly what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Breaking people's fucking skulls and rolling a Pokeball at them. Like, that happened 7 years ago in Bellator, and now he just walked into the UFC 3 fights in, 3-0, 1 stoppage in the first round. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you not think that he was going to get you money? Did you not think that him and McGregor wouldn't have been a good fucking fight?
Yeah, he lost not this last one, but the fight before, right?
I thought he's 3-0, or is he 2-1?
He's 2-1. He lost a decision.
Okay. Okay, I thought he was 3-0. My apologies.
It won't be the
But even
next. It won't be the next fight, but I would love the Ilya Patty Pimblett fight on the
yes,
the West Coast.
that's yes.
Yeah.
Give me
Although it wouldn't shock me if that ends up being the next fight for Topuria.
that could be too. Yeah,
But I think they're going a different direction. Dana White might be going a different direction for that next.
He wants Sarukian, is what he wants.
That's what he wants. Yeah.
Also,
But Sarukian's gonna fake another back injury, and we're gonna be left with Patty. Like,
can we
okay.
also the reason
I'll
the
gladly
reason
take
you
that
want
fight instead.
Ilya versus Patty the most is because they don't fucking like each other. Like they
And
literally
it's two guys that are bad motherfuckers. They'll knock each other out. Like,
and they're English and Spanish, and they're using that against each other. Can we please get back to people fighting each other who fucking hate each other?
yeah.
Like Habib and McGregor, the lead up to all of that, and then when Habib had him and wouldn't let go, and then goes over the thing, that's chef's kiss. That's cinema. That's
The after
what you
part
need.
was bad for the sport.
Fuck no.
Yes.
Fuck no. Okay, fair. Yes, even my mom and all the UFC people, they get from the outside perspective. If some of the kids and some of the actors and some of the girls and all that kind of stuff who are on the front row, if they start getting affected, that's where, you know what I mean, like Malice in the Palace type shit. Okay, I'm not for that. What I am for though is
everything up until him jumping the cage, phenomenal for the sport.
Yes, I loved him jumping over the cage because it was like I'm not done with McGregor's dude. All the shit that led up to before the fight, you think I'm done? I'm not done. He didn't knock me out. He tapped out. Now I go to all of you. That's the Russian mentality that I don't hate, by the way. I don't hate Russia. I don't hate any country. I don't hate the 11th province. And I don't hate the frozen wannabes of Canada on the left-hand side of us. I respect them enough to know that if I was to walk into Russia, I'm getting my ass kicked by Dagestan dudes no matter what, okay? That's just the way it is.
They need to have their own fucking division in the UFC so someone else can hold a title.
Thank you.
I think the most heated rivalry ever was Tito and Ken Shamrock.
Yes. Or Tito and what's the other one? Iceman.
Oh,
Liddell, yeah.
Liddell, yeah.
But nothing beat Tito and Shamrock. I mean, they beat the fuck out of each other. And I'm like,
yeah.
I watched those two fights, and then you had that third bullshit fight, years later, and I was like, that wasn't the same, but those fights were tense, man. You could just see the hatred.
Who did John Jones fight twice or three times there? Cormier. Like that. Those are what. And I'm not saying it because I don't.
Not as much hatred as there was.
Like just like the disrespect and the distaste for each other. I can accept that too, but like. You know, the Patty and the Ilya thing, like if they keep going at each other in public, I want it. I'm gonna want that's the stuff that you will get me to get a subscription to Paramount Plus for, because you ain't ever gonna get me to buy pay-per-view unless I have like Alex and Evan and Jalen and everybody else at the house. Like, no, fuck no. But that's Paramount Plus and shit.
I'm just so happy that they finally went through this with Paramount Plus, because
not gonna lie, I'm shocked TKO didn't take them to Netflix.
Yeah, I kind of am too, only because with WWE on, but I think they want two properties, Paramount Plus and Netflix. Feel like with Paramount Plus, they cut them a better deal, I think, than Netflix would have.
Yeah,
I think Netflix just worked out everything to the WWE and they still got to make their money back off of it, which they are doing a damn good job off it. But like for example, too, before you add on to that, Disney can't buy too much other properties right now because they're still paying off the stuff that they bought from Sony and all that kind of stuff too.
Well, they just paid off Fox, so
yes.
for all these years. So now they're going to take Hulu. That's going to go away, but it's still going to be there, but it's going to be under just Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So, and Netflix, don't forget the Canelo Terrence Crawford fight.
Yes.
Trying to get into the boxing world,
so excited for that.
what was it? What's the name? The Turk guy, the Arabian guy. He owns the, he's the promoter.
The Saudi guy,
Saudi guy. Yeah. So they're trying to work out a deal with that. With from what I'm hearing, with boxing, trying to get that going, and you got the NFL with the 2 games, and they just announced that they're going to get the home run derby starting next year, Netflix, because Apple TV Plus is ending their partnership with MLB. So, and MLB, the MLB.TV supposedly is going to go to ESPN, that new ESPN Unlimited channel. So ESPN's trying to do everything to, like, they already got the WWE PLEs,
ESPN doing what they should have done all these years ago is take all the sports and have them available at your location.
Yes, exactly.
Every single one.
Yeah, and they're gonna get. I think you can bundle it with Fox One, the new one that came out here in the States. So that's where you have like the Big Ten network, CBS, or no, not CBS, that's Fox. But so it's
Foxes.
Yeah, I mean it is.
With sports though, they're still doing well.
They do well. I have always liked their sports program. I still remember back when they took a shot at like getting Regis Philbin, Jay and Dan from TSN up here in Canada, and like they brought them all and did like the FS 1, 2, 3, 4 thing like ESPN, and like it kind of worked for a bit. It's just they didn't like it. Like the heads up there didn't like it, so they cut it off. But it was like, you didn't listen to the fans, man. Like we didn't hate this at all. Like you had ESPN on the ropes, but then you decided to be like them and fucked it all up.
Well, and that's the thing with ESPN now. It's just talking heads. That's all it is. Just entertainment. Yes. Like I don't like. Here's the thing with WWE going with their PLEs. Do we really need Stephen A. Smith to be on location? Watch. I could see ESPN pulling stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
having Stephen A. Yo, man, this.
Wasn't he just? He was just at a college the other day, or on location.
Was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was I want to say him, a girl, and Cam, but it may not have been Cam. But yeah, they were like at a college. You know what I'm talking about?
Were they at Ohio State? Because I think all the football or Alabama.
They were at one of them there.
Last college game day this weekend.
But you're not wrong, because like Pat and his whole gang are literally going, which I also need to say, I love Pat to death. He is definitely going too hard into whole like, Trump is president type shit. And I'm like, buddy, like you were always good being right down the middle. Please just remain that way.
Well, because he went to ESPN. That's why he lost his appeal, because
I know.
The ESPN. Same thing with Mad Dog, Russo.
Yes.
He was so much better with Francesca, Mike and the Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I was listening back in the day. It was so much fun, but now ESPN, they're paying the money.
Yep.
And look, I don't blame them for taking the money. Guys not a bit. Why not? But you have to change. And that's the same thing with Howard Stern. What happened? He used to be great. But guess what? He went to Sirius Satellite Radio and then
worked for a bit.
Slowly go down. And that's why they cut ties with him, or no longer gonna give him a new contract.
Well, I mean, Sirius Satellite Radio will last another 15 or 20 years if they don't have to pay Howard Stern and literally just stay as a radio company. Like,
and who they gave that money to, or they're going to give that? Stephen A. Smith.
Oh my God!
So he's going to have his own show on Sirius Satellite Radio.
Yeah, his podcast, their show or whatever he calls it, is going to get his own channel.
Because he's also doing his like political thing, and I know that he wanted to get into the radio side of it so that he can be on more ears like that way and stuff, and that like makes sense as well. I'm not for Stephen A. running if he decides to do that eventually, but can we just get back to like real politicians or like real people who care about countries trying to run for shit?
That wouldn't be entertaining enough.
No, Ben. No, you're an American. You can't you have to get back to the way it was.
We still have the politicians, and look how shitty it is.
You're not wrong. Though, I mean, so respectively, though, a lot of people who come to my work who like bleed blue, because that, like, my work, obviously, you're going to get a lot of farmers who bleed blue.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them know now that I am a centralist, right down the middle, always will be now, unless someone comes in who, like, way too extreme. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, no. I'm a centralist now. And a lot of people, like, they've come to, they're like, you know what, I like your idea on that. I might be that too. And I'm like, no, I ain't doing a following. Fuck off. Like, this is the way I do mine. You do
Start
yours.
your centralist cult, Andrew.
No, thank you. But a lot of them have come up. When I say a lot, I don't mean like all of them. I do mean like a good chunk and stuff. Come up and they're like, I don't hate Carney, but also at the same time too, he just got in. And we all didn't hate Trudeau for the first 6 to 10 months that he was technically into. It's when he started to really, put in his stamp on things. That's when it was. And I'm like, yeah, I can agree with that. One thing I do like, though, is since he's been in, gas prices have basically just stayed like this.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. The second they start going up, I can see everybody bitching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The problem is,
but it sounded like they were going to skyrocket under him, and they haven't.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people in Canada thought like a lot of different things were going to skyrocket. But then he turns around and like one of the first things that he said was, I want a $6.6 billion winter defense system in the Arctic. And it was like, go on. It doesn't matter what color any of us here in Canada bleed. I think all of us would be okay with that. Please continue with what else you would like to say. And then he was like, yeah, we need to have pipelines in the ground, especially to Alberta, where most of our oil resources are. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, you're making conservatives really scared right now. Like, they like you, but the other sides, you do see the other sides of him too, where it's like he is going to snuggle up to Europe because that's what he's comfortable with. And no offense, just with things going on to the south and you guys on your little crack bend right now, I would like to have the ability to defend myself with weapons of mass destruction if someone were to point weapons of mass destruction from below me up to me. So that's kind of a, but at the end of the day, I know you guys aren't like that kind of crazy, and that's just more like the makes the news and all that kind of stuff go. I still need time with him. I'm never gonna like go to bed with being a liberal, but I'm also never gonna go to bed with being a conservative or an NDP. My thing is if you're a good leader and you do good for the country and you have a good platform, that's when you would get my vote.
Which is the way it should be.
Which is exactly the way it should be. And in politics, the one thing that has gotten away from everybody is why aren't we complimenting the other side of the fucking aisle anymore? You have good ideas. They have good ideas. Why the fuck do we have to fight all the time?
They've been so ingrained, and I'm sure this is the same way in Canada. Maybe not. I don't know. Mm-hmm. In the States, bro, I mean, they can't even agree to what they're going to have for dinner. Let alone, no matter what, not because even if they think the other side has the best idea in the world, it's because of
their idea. So yeah,
or like it's because of their political title. It's like, no, we disagree no matter what.
Yep.
Because it's not Democratic or it's not Republican.
Yep.
That's the problem. You have these thinking people in there that only think one way.
Yes.
I mean, we're saying, why can't it be this way? You with the Saints, me with Ohio State. The way it is with
Now take the sport or all that kind of stuff out of it, right? Political in that sense, right? My thing is I like when you talk like to get like a little extreme, when you talk about the trends and you talk about the trucker convoys and you talk about the independence of Alberta and the independence of Quebec and all the extremes and all that kind of stuff, it obviously has come from somewhere. And it's come from places not necessarily good, but it comes from people being pushed to those. No different than the Americans, like, because as much as the world might hate what they're doing with the tariffs, the Americans feel as though they've been bullied to certain extents and they want to be retributed for it. My thing that I've always said, and it's never going to be like this. It's never going to be a perfect world because we have greedy people and that's just the way it is, right? Is it just needs to be more cooperative, especially here, like in North America, like, and even in South America. We don't have that many country, provinces, all that kind of stuff that is going on across the oceans and stuff like that. There is a lot of things that we can do just right here to support ourselves and stuff. We just can't get away from what Ben has said and what Alex has said is the whole fuck the Saints and fuck Ohio and all that kind of stuff. It is going to be ingrained through us no matter what. Just me on a political side, me being a centralist a little bit more is I think you're right. I think you're right. I just want to find the common middle ground that makes everybody, or at least, 60% of the people happy. Because I do think Florida does really good with that political thing where it's like 60% vote has to pass in order for something to pass. It was like, well, that's a great majority. So therefore, if that is what happens, then that should go into law. Fuck yeah.
All right. That's fair. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
but I'm just saying our president just,
But you know what? And it's funny because Alex can contest to this too. It's funny in Canada, like it's almost as if like every 4 years when the Olympics were going around, right? Like Canada hate, like we always have hate within like the country and stuff like that because province to province or opinions to opinions. The second the Olympics comes on, or the second our hockey team puts on a red jersey with a Canada leaf on it, everybody's all the same. We hate or we love all the same at that point. Just like we did in the Four Nations. Everybody got together real fuck. And
I can't stand Sidney Crosby until he puts on a Canada jersey then.
Yeah, I fucking hate Crosby until, the golden goal, Iggy, yelling Iggy. I will always hear that, Iggy! And then just him knowing he's right there. And I'm sorry to you guys to do that to you, but
it
wasn't as bad as
I'm not.
Like.
I like the idea of the Four Nations. I really do. I think that was a very good idea. It's nice to have an in-season. Well, the NBA does it. They have their in-season tournament with the NBA Cup and stuff. So, but Andrew, since we're soccer fans, where they've adopted those ideas from, because in England, in Europe, we have the UEFA, we have the Europa, we have all these in-season tournaments, and unfortunately for Manchester United, we don't play in Europe this year. We're out of any tournament, so But I mean, I'm just
the
saying
only thing I get to cheer for in the next year is Team Germany and Team Canada for a World Cup.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I can't wait for.
I'm just hoping we don't get relegated, which could be a real possibility.
How
insane would that be?
Because they
what I said
Premier League before.
Well, yeah. You know what I said though? I was like, this. I know a lot of people might hate this because I know we're all waiting to see who gets bundled up with who for like the World Cup, like who gets what conference, like Group A, Group B, all that kind of stuff. Just because of how good the Four Nations Cup was, put me in the same damn grouping as the Americans, please. I will probably lose. I understand 1-2 nothing, 2-1. Alphonso Davies getting us a goal, that'll be fun, cool. But do it. You want to see what happens in Europe on this plot of land? Get Canada, US in a group stage match. And both of them know for a fact that if you lose, you're probably not getting out of this group. And if the Americans know that going up against the Canadians and they are like, it's just the Canadians and stuff. And we're just like, oh, say, can you see body dog? Yeah, like, oh yeah. Or put you and the Mexicans in the same group, please. Like, let's get some real rivalries going for that.
Yeah, which is why they won't do it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll get Costa Rica and Kazakhstan and Panama. No, you're not. No. They'll give you the softest way to get out and into the tournament as quickly as possible.
It goes by a draw. It goes by a draw in the hat. Or
it is, eh?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, that's right. But you still they'll put your name, like they'll freeze yours and everybody else's will be hot and stuff like that. Or Germany's and Italy's and Spain's and Netherlands will all be cold and they'll be like, oh, we have the Americans. Don't grab the cold ones.
wouldn't it be funny if, like, well, it wouldn't be funny to me or you, if Manchester United got relegated and Wrexham got promoted to Premier under Ryan Reynolds and Rob Mack, or Birmingham City, better yet, Birmingham City with Tom Brady. Oh, and by the way, it's on Amazon Prime. Great documentary, great series. If those two teams get promoted.
How do I put this lightly without like sounding like a traitor to my country? If Ryan Reynolds were to do that to Manchester United, right? Like relegate them and cause all this, international and all this other problems with like internal beef and stuff. Like he's causing internal beef on the set of Doomsday. And like the internal shit that he caused by having his wedding at a Ku Klux Klan barn. Like, buddy, you are really pissing me off here, man. Like,
but I mean, you got to give Wrexham a lot of credit. I don't think we've ever seen anything like it. They were in National League a few years ago. Then you get promoted to League Two, then the League One, and then now they're in the Championship League. I'm like, that's incredible, man. For that to happen in a 5-year span, that's remarkable. It's
incredible. I mean, especially in European soccer, like that should not be happening.
No, and it's because of the funding. They're able to willing to spend the money to do that. And if you saw their pitch, the stadium around it, building a new like part of it and stuff. Yep. So, I mean, but I don't think they're going to get promoted this year. I don't see it. They're just
don't wait.
Championship League's just too competitive. Birmingham City,
somebody. Yeah, they'll wait till somebody fucks up enough that they'll be like, no, it just makes sense to put them in there, kind of thing.
Right.
Like Manchester fucking United.
No, unfortunately, we're probably going to be staying put. We'll probably be in that 13 to 15 kind of range. That's where you never want to be. I'd almost rather be relegated, so at least you can get back up there and
say hi, chat. Say hi, chat.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
So yeah, I don't know if we're going to beat Burnley tomorrow.
I don't think so either. I don't think we're going to beat Burnley. Just like I don't think Tampa Bay Buccaneers are beating the Atlanta Falcons in Week 1.
Because
we have too many injuries.
Right on that. Worf's is out. Jeez. Otten's probably going to be out. Probably. We don't know for sure, but it's not.
I'd imagine so.
I'm still not sold on our linebacking core. The undrafted guy that we brought, I like him. I like what he did in camp. Right on. Is it gonna last forever though? Like,
no. Eventually, Levante is gonna retire.
Yes.
He's gonna have to fill that position at some point.
We should have done it last year.
Servassier Dennis, can he stay healthy? I mean, that's the thing. He's not been able to get on. Braswell, I mean, my God, can he start to develop a little bit here? I mean, you're right. That's the biggest concern. Or Reddick, I think, is going to do pretty well.
Reddick
yeah.
He's on a 1-year deal. He'll be fine.
Right, yeah. Our secondary, it has a lot of promise. I like Jacob Parrish. The second we drafted Parrish, I was like, that is a name I was kind of hoping for. The fact that we got Emeka Mbuka, which this guy right here knows how much I was excited for that. I was like,
you're pointing the wrong way. There's nobody over that shoulder. No, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. It's the wrong way.
Anyway, you're doing it wrong.
It's the other way.
It's that way.
Point to your left.
No, it's that way.
Your left. No, your left hand. Point to your left.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Yes.
No, you're on my screen. You're right here.
Well, on everyone else's screen, you're pointing the wrong way.
Holy shit, I am.
Just do the opposite. Just do the opposite.
I can see it now. I see on YouTube. What the fuck? I've been pointing at this guy wrong the whole time. I was like, is there a delay? No, I'm just too fucking fast. And I'm like, oh, look, I'm pointing at Alex. Now I actually am pointing at Alex.
You are.
But to me, I look like I'm pointing at the fucking stairs.
I see a Christopher Cole's comment. Don't count out the Cubs. I'm not going to. I think they're going to make the wild card this year.
Yeah.
They have fallen a little bit. They've been kind of inconsistent these last couple of weeks.
Very much so.
But I think they're a year away. If they can get some more pitching, next year,
But,
they're going to be pretty good.
Here's the thing. And I hate to be this guy.
Yeah.
Does any other World Series matter other than the first one that they got?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because I am not a Cubs fan. I'm a Cardinals fan. I don't like the Cubs necessarily. I tuned in for almost every single one of their playoff games when they were against the
year,
Indians. They were 3-1 down against the fucking Indians. And I was like, oh my God, the curse is going to continue. And for some odd reason, they just said, nope. Steve Ballmer?
The curse did, but not the Cubs curse.
Yeah.
Well, they were the Indians. Now they're the Guardians.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Now, is it Ball? I know Steve Ballmer. It sounds like the Microsoft guy. It's Steve something. The guy who the foul ball for the Cubs there. There was the whole curse thing.
Steve Bartman.
Bartman, thank you. That whole thing, I knew, like, I was like, for him, you know what I mean? I was one of those fans, like, do it for him. And if I'm not mistaken, he didn't go to the parade, but they sent him like a fucking gift package being like, bro, like, we all understand that you need this.
That's not why they lost. About Alex?
No, God, no.
With those couple of errors in the 8th inning, like, they just collapsed.
Yes, they used it on him. Like,
right.
All it takes is in any type of major, like even with just humans in general, something keeps going bad and going bad. If a bunch of people keep saying it's that guy's fault and nothing around the situation is changing for that opinion to be changed by the people, they're just going to keep getting violent. It's a riot mentality. And it sucked. The guy fucking had to be hidden to get home and lasted less than 24 hours in his home before he had to leave.
Right.
That's not good.
I mean, now, should he have done that, reach for the ball? Probably not. But still,
everybody does.
They do. Well, look at Jeffrey Miller. He caught the ball with the Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles. Should not have been a home run. That was
that the kid?
Yeah, that was the kid.
That was the kid. Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that too. Yeah.
Tony Tarasco was all upset that,
what do you do? Hit a kid?
Yeah. I mean, that was like 95 or 96.
It's the Yankees. Like if that was a different team and shit like that, like sure, maybe you hit the kid, I guess.
That's true. Like, those two asshole Yankee fans were grabbing his arm and stuff. Like, and they were bad for life from Yankees.
Unacceptable. I couldn't believe the amount of people that were defending those guys. I was like, oh, let's go check out where all these people on Twitter are from that are defending. Oh, they're all Yankee fans. Okay, that makes sense. Barstool's defending it. Oh yeah, where's their head coach? Oh, in New York. That makes sense. Yeah.
What's his name? Portnoy.
Yeah.
Isn't allowed at the Ohio State game.
Ohio State is softer than baby shit. That was pathetic. There's no way they tried to pin it on Fox. There's no way Fox would pay all that money for Portnoy to be on their pregame show and be like, "Oh, week 1 you can't be in the stadium." That was clearly Ohio State. Soft as shit.
Now,
absolutely pathetic.
Now, on the other side, I have also heard that what if this was a shtick to Ohio, right? To Lee Corso to get more viewership on the Fox broadcast
or the ESPN
than ESPN's.
Yeah, you're not going to just because it's Corso's last one.
Yeah.
But now, if I'm not, you'd have to correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there a little bit of a not so great between Corso and Ohio at one point?
I don't
think so.
Okay, so because that's the only thing that I can think of behind.
I think as far as the picks, he's picked them more than anybody else, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but even then, I was like, he's not done anything to offend Ohio State because
it doesn't take much apparently, but
respectively, because what I'm thinking is if I'm Ohio. If I do this at the Michigan guy, but behind closed doors, it's like, you know exactly what we're doing. We're just trying to get the viewership on your guys' show, like on Fox and shit like that. And that all publicity is good publicity, because even myself, like, I know it's Lee Corso. You guys know my opinion on Lee Corso. I was never a huge Lee Corso guy, but that's just me.
Of course not. He was a Florida State guy.
I understand. Yeah, so that's just me though. But
That's the best.
yeah, not so fast, kid.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, that one. That's the best. I was never a huge like Lee Corso guy myself, but I can understand like the behind the scenes stuff where, like, you know, because we don't always think about that, but that's what those fuckers with money do behind closed doors. Is they're like, well, let's make bad publicity so that a bunch of people start watching the Fox thing, right? Pat McAfee thinks he's the shit on College Games Day. Let's see if he can outdo Dave.
Yeah, but then why do you allow him to not be on the broadcast for your first one?
So that's why I was like, I don't think it would be Ohio that did it then. I could see.
Oh, it's absolutely Ohio that did it.
Well, not in that like grander scheme of things. I could see like Ryan Day, someone else like that who also has like a good relationship, say, with Dave.
Oh, he's the softest motherfucker of them all, Ryan Day.
Well, you're also not wrong.
To have to go cry that we're a tough team after you beat Notre Dame, where you had an extra player than them on the last play, and you had to claim that you're a tough teams don't claim that they're tough teams, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, not wrong. So, Alex, I gotta ask this: are you beating Ohio State this year?
Yes.
No hesitation or it. You don't think Ohio brought back all those guys just for one game?
I think they brought all those guys back for one game, and then they lost it, and their consolation was, well, we'll go win a national championship, and then all those fuckers left.
They still got a lot of people still there.
I'll pull up what can't remember what it was. They lost like 19 of their 22 starters or something.
Yes.
It was a quarterback, their two wide receivers, one of their three receivers, both running backs, one of their three receivers, their tight end, three of their five offensive linemen, their whole starting defensive line, one of their two or three linebackers, their best corner, and two out of their three safeties.
Still got
and that's just starters.
Still got Tate, still got Jeremiah, still got Cornell. Or
how good is Cornell Tate now that he's not wide receiver 3 anymore? Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football, and Caleb Downs is the best defensive player in college football.
Yes.
It's
and
still
on the same team.
Ohio State's going to be a playoff team. They're just not beating us. They're getting their asses handed to them by Texas tomorrow. It's ugly.
And we are going to be playing basketball and checking up on that game like every 20 minutes too.
But
I just need CJ Baxter to get a touchdown so I can get it. Also, by the way, sorry to cut you off. It's a pick'em now. It's not Texas plus 105. Both of them are at minus 110.
As it should be.
As it fucking should be.
The only reason it should be a pick'em and not Texas as the favorite is because it's in the horseshoe. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
It's Ohio State's in the exact same situation Michigan was last year, except they have a quarterback. It is the exact same scenario. They lost they had 14 guys drafted last year. We had this draft we had 15 the year before.
Fair.
We tons of NFL talent gone, and you're hoping the guys behind them can replace them. The only
five-star talent. I mean, hey, if anybody showed that a true freshman can show out last year, it was Ohio State.
I mean, that's also a guy that's arguably the best wide receiver prospect we've ever seen.
Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Jeremiah Smith clears Marvin Harrison Jr. It is not close.
I am clipping that and sending that to our good friend. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, but I also agree.
Jeremiah Smith is the best college receiver we've probably ever seen.
And I agree with you. And I think that when he does come out, if he's not coming out with Arch in the same draft, he deserves to be in consideration for the number 1 pick. Like,
without a doubt.
At the way that he is playing right now. That it is like having a Jerry Rice in college. It is almost unacceptable. And then
I'd almost say it's more Calvin than Jerry.
Fair.
Big,
Also,
strong, fast, can run all the routes, great hand. Like
and then
where Jerry was a bit smaller,
so I
it
think
could
then
be that big.
he could be that then in the NFL, like that Jerry Rice
Yes.
type, where it's just every single year is like just nothing but production. Because if he goes to, and we're looking just to throw a couple of teams that would probably be bad in 2 years, you're probably looking at Cleveland still. You're probably looking at the Saints,
Dallas.
You're probably looking maybe Dallas too. Yeah. Looking at my board quick of just some teams. Just to
How
see
many
Miami.
teams are going to purposely tank in a year or two, though? That's the other thing.
Yeah, Miami. The Raiders could be in that conversation. But even let's just take the Saints. I don't want them on the fucking Saints.
They're tanking this year to get Garrett Nussmeier next year.
Well, so Chris thinks that Arch is basically a Saint. And I'm like, fuck to the no.
No, it's not. Nussmeier's a Saint. His dad's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's a big game tomorrow, guys. Him going up the Death Valley, Clemson. That's a big
They get
game.
Smacked too.
I agree.
Clemson manhandles LSU.
And then they get manhandled too.
I do think LSU needs to win this game, though. I mean,
they do.
They absolutely do.
Brian Kelly, I mean, he gets off to these bad starts, and then they can just never get over the, to the playoffs and stuff.
It's hilarious that he said he left Notre Dame because they couldn't get over the hump. Marcus Freeman has them in the national championship picture, and LSU can't make the playoffs.
Right. Exactly. This is a big year, guys. I mean,
massive year.
I mean, Brian Kelly should thank his lucky stars that Nussmeier came back. Otherwise, they probably not even a top 5 in the SEC. Like
originally, they were supposed to have Bryce Underwood.
That's right.
Yeah. And now switching gears to Alabama, Florida State. It's going to be quite a game tomorrow.
I hope so.
And Alabama just doesn't run show like they should.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we're going to have to really stop Jam Miller. I mean, that's
it sounds like he's out. I don't think he's playing.
Oh,
well,
okay.
they
From
still
what I
have
heard earlier this week. It's likely that he's going to be out a few weeks.
They still have the second best wide receiver in all of college, and arguably should be the number 2 pick after
Tyson third. Yeah, but they still got.
It's Alabama's defense for me. Alabama's defense is great this year. They have an elite offensive line.
They have all their whole entire offensive line will probably be drafted within the top 20 picks.
Yeah, it's elite offensive line and great defense.
Yeah.
And my one other thing with Alabama this year, every time Kalen DeBoer has been successful, no matter where he's been, Ryan Grubb was his DC, who was in, I want to say Seattle last year with the Seahawks.
Yes.
And then he's now back with DeBoer in Alabama.
He did get fired, if I'm not mistaken, from the Seahawks because they weren't doing that great. But this is also college, so.
Well, and, for Florida State, I mean, look, they're going to be better this year. They can't be worse than 2.
Yeah, I was going to say they can't be worse.
But I think a win tomorrow, I'm not saying they will, would go a long way for Mike Norvell.
I kind of think Norvell needs a win too. If we're talking coaches that need a win here,
yeah, because he's got.
But I also think DeBoer needs this.
Well, yeah, I mean they both do, for different reasons, obviously. But
DeBoer's gonna get the one of these. Like if they lose, it'll be like.
There's gonna be people calling for Saban to come back.
Saban's gonna go coach the Rams or the Cowboys.
No, here's Brian Kelly gets fired. Saban goes back to LSU.
Oh dear.
And he wins a national title. They said, they couldn't get over that.
Yep. I think it's gonna happen. I do think it's gonna happen.
You think because one of the reasons why Nick got out of there is because of the NIL,
But now you can see, now they've put at least a budget on it, right? They're starting to fit restrictions in. Well, there is. Your school budget can only be $20.5 million across all sports.
Okay.
is all your school budget can be now. So you can put it all into football if you want. Like Michigan put 75% of it into football, if I'm not mistaken.
You can still have boosters, though, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you're never gonna fully limit the boosters.
Nope.
But it's not the full entire Wild Wild West it was 2 years ago when he left.
Like I'm gonna just state this right now. If I ever get famous enough where I get a couple $1 million, if you think that I wouldn't take money to Florida and just walk up to Gainesville and be like, get me a 5-star fucking running back or something, like I would 100%.
Here's the thing: if you could get Saban to LSU,
Ew.
please schedule him in North Carolina. Give me a Saban versus Belichick coaching matchup.
Saban's not coming back. He's done.
What if Saban goes to Florida? They get rid of Napier, and
I don't want that either.
They're not going to get rid of Napier because Florida's going to make the playoff this year.
Yeah, I mean, can we still fire Napier after that though? Like,
well,
they're going to be the 11th seed, and they're going to lose to 6th seed in Michigan.
9, but are
they going to be able to beat Georgia? Are they going to beat in their schedule? Because they got to beat LSU as well.
They're going to have 2 losses. They're going to have 2 losses. Georgia and Texas.
Who?
Florida's going to lose to Georgia. They're going to lose to Texas. They're going to beat Ole Miss. They're going to beat LSU. They're going to beat all these other teams they have to play. Lose to Georgia, lose to Texas, not make the SEC championship game, and slide in as a 10-2 11 seed.
Lose to Texas, beat Georgia, lose to one of those other mid teams, because nothing ever goes the way that it's supposed to. So it'd be someone like A&M or Ole Miss that we would more than likely lose to. If we lose to LSU, I don't think, and if we're still 2 losses, I don't think we're past the 11th seed. If we can beat Georgia and one of those other losses or either the 2 losses is to another one in Texas, like say Ole Miss or whatever, then I can see us getting the 9th seed. The 9th seed is what I want. The 9th seed is what Ohio State had last year, and I want that. I want the 9th
They had the 8th seed last year.
Or 8th seed, sorry.
Because they got to host the playoff game.
Yeah, but it's 8 versus 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the 9 seed. I will go somewhere. That's fine. Get Florida to have a harder playoff thing. Make them do what Ohio State did last year, because Legway seems to be doing a bit better when the game comes down to it's in his hand and he has nobody else and he has to make players.
6-1 as a starter last year.
Yes.
The only loss was to Georgia, but he got hurt in the first half when they were up on Georgia.
And the best thing with him is if you watch him when he's down, he's not looking for the number 1 running back, the number 1 wide receiver, and the number 1 tight end. He is looking for the open guy. It doesn't matter if it's the 8th dude off the fucking bench, which literally was one of the dudes he threw like a 29-yard pass to. And I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And it was like literally the 8th wide receiver off the bench. And I was like, okay, he understands. Go ahead.
You said that you think you're going to lose to Ole Miss. I don't think so.
No,
it would be one of those.
Not with Austin Simmons.
It would be one of the weird teams that, like, if Florida ends up getting where they're supposed to, like, wins against LSU, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, yeah, it's the Florida Gators of old. It's gonna be one of those weird ones like A&M or something like that we would fucking lose.
Here's a hot take.
Go ahead.
Lane Kiffin is a very overrated head coach. When's the last time he had a big win against a ranked opponent? Exactly.
Now, Alex would be the better.
I was like,
if I'm not mistaken, didn't he get a ranked win last year with Dart?
Let's see here.
Because and this is just me, because I'm not the big college guy, like you all know that. Like I'm in it, but like all those little details kind of wasn't he not that bad last year? Because I agree that he's overrated. Like he should not go to the NFL. You're just going to be Nick Saban and Urban Meyer for the Dolphins and Jaguars, respectively.
I mean, Ole Miss is essentially the Penn State of the SEC.
How dare you? I
Oh,
still,
you know what?
I still Penn State, Texas for me for the Natty.
I
That's
think
just me.
Georgia.
Did they?
Last year?
Let me see. I might be wrong. Yeah. They
Christopher
beat
Cole, get out of here. Get out of here. No, they do not.
Oh yeah, they did beat Georgia. That's right.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But how many more has he had again? I mean,
I was going to say their only other ranked game last year, they lost 26-29 to LSU.
Okay. So then, yeah, I was going to say they did get one last, and then everybody was like, oh, Lane Kiffin, Jackson Dart kind of thing. Because me and Alex were talking Jackson Dart for a while, and we didn't know where he was going to go. He was either a top 10 pick or he was going to fall like Aaron Rodgers. So, and that which inevitably happened.
The year before he went 2-2 in ranked games. Sorry, 2-3 if you count the bowl game. But
fair.
They beat 24th ranked Tulane as the 20th ranked team.
That team actually had some dudes too.
Yeah, as the 15th rank, they lost 24-10 to Alabama, who was 13th. The next week, as the 20th ranked team, they beat 13th ranked LSU 55-49. And then as the number 10 team in week 10, they lost to number 1 Georgia 52-17.
So they beat Georgia after getting spanked by Georgia.
Yeah.
So
and then the year before,
Kiffin's good at the revenge shit. It looks like. Seems like he just puts all of his eggs into the basket for when the revenge games come in.
Yeah, the year before they were 1-1 in.
Even if I'm not mistaken, did he beat Saban or was that game just really close?
Kiffin, I don't think he ever beat Saban.
No, okay. So then the one game he did play against him, it was kind of close. Then, if I'm not mistaken,
even when Kiffin was at Tennessee for 1 year or so,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I went through, did the whole prediction of the playoff and everything. What I had UNLV as the group of 5 team getting into the 12 seed. Unfortunately, their reward is playing 5th ranked Oregon, and they get slaughtered.
Idaho State. Did you see that defense? That was out there.
Yeah. Now this was before those games. I will say that, but number 11 was Florida. They go to the Big House to play number 6 Michigan. I only think we're 6 because of an easy schedule. I don't think we're the 6th best team in the country. I will say that. I think we're a playoff caliber team. I just don't think we're that good, but easy schedule gets us that high. I have us 11-1. Our only loss at Oklahoma week 2, Bryce's first road game. I think that's a loss to a really good defense. I like Oklahoma's defense and then Mateer and Ott. I think it's a 13-10 kind of game, really low scoring. They get a last second field goal.
I mean, Oklahoma needs that game though, especially for Brent Venables, who I think he's kind of on the hot seat, is he not? I mean,
I think one more bad year and he's gone.
We were talking about that, Christopher Cole. USF definitely showed that they are competitive. They are a good team. Not beating.
By the way, Army was almost my group of 5 playoff team. I'm glad I didn't put them because they did lose to Tarleton State tonight.
No way.
30-27 in double overtime.
Wow.
My 10 seed was Ohio State. They 10-2, don't make the Big Ten title game. Losses to Texas and Michigan, bookend of the regular season with losses. They go to Georgia, the first round of the playoff. Georgia beats the brakes off them. Okay. I don't think it's close.
So we got Georgia, Texas in the Natty?
Nope. I got my last first round matchup. I have number 9 South Carolina going to the Big 12 champion 8th ranked Texas Tech. I didn't think I'd have either of my Big 12 championship competitors in there. But by the time I did the whole prediction and everything, my Big 12 championship based on tiebreakers was Texas Tech and Baylor. And I feel like Texas Tech wins that game. I have South Carolina beating Texas Tech, though. I think South Carolina is the much better team. South Carolina, unfortunately, as the 9 seed, goes to play number 1 seed Texas. Their only loss on the season is to Georgia in the regular season. They then beat Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Alex, I don't know. South Carolina in the playoffs? Have you seen that schedule?
Yep.
And they got to play LSU at LSU.
Which, if it wasn't for the refs totally fucking them, they win that game. I don't say that often, but the refs fucked them in that game.
Then you got Oklahoma's defense going back to South Carolina. You got to play Alabama. They're both at home. I'll give them that. But then you got to go to Ole Miss. I could see them beating Ole Miss again because Lane's he's overrated. But you got to go to Texas A&M. That's the tall task. And then you got Clemson. But it's at
I had 2 losses. I had Alabama and I had Texas A&M. I think they beat Clemson since it's at home.
I got Clemson beating them.
Fair.
I got 3 losses, but they're not making the playoffs.
Fair. And I had 2 losses, and that was enough to get them in at that point, just based on how it all shook out. But they go to not to Texas, but they play Texas in the quarterfinal in that bowl game and get slaughtered.
They got to play Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Home, but
that's not a hat. I was like,
I'm saying because Vanderbilt last year,
I think Vanderbilt wins probably 8-9 games this year. I think that's a damn good Vanderbilt program now.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of surprised. South Carolina in the play. That's a pretty risky move.
I didn't think that right off the bat, but then when I went through and picked the games, I was like, okay, I guess they're in.
I can see all first-round quarterbacks that go in the next draft being in the playoffs this year.
Well, and see, it's not even just Lenore Sellers for me. It's Dylan Stewart on the other side, too. They've got a difference maker on both sides of the ball. There's not too many teams that have that. And I like Beamer as a coach. I really like what he's building there.
Well, he's got to play his daddy's old team week on Sunday.
Yeah.
They'll beat him. I think they beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah. I got Oregon. After beating UNLV, they play Notre Dame in the second round. Talk about 2 big brands playing each other. I have Notre Dame winning that too. I think that defense is legit. I like CJ Carr. I hate that Lloyd Carr's grandson is playing for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but that's neither here nor there. I have so Michigan I had beating Florida. They go play 3 seed Big Ten champion Penn State in a rematch of the Big Ten championship game. Since it's hard to beat a team twice, I do have Michigan beating Penn State in a close one.
What is this bias shit?
No. I have them playing in the Big Ten championship game, but probably 3 weeks before Penn State beats Michigan.
Okay.
It's hard to beat a team twice, especially in that close. But then I have Michigan getting slaughtered in the semifinal by 2nd-seeded Clemson, who beats 7th-seed Georgia to make it to the quarterfinal. I have a Texas-Clemson national championship.
Wow.
And I have Texas getting it this year.
Texas.
I do like Texas too as well. I mean, Sarkisian's going to get his national title.
And I think Texas might have the best defense in college football this year.
By far.
There's an all-American level guy at all 3 levels of that defense.
Hill is going to just tear shit, man. Hill's
probably the best linebacker in college ball.
By far.
There's a strong argument for Colin Simmons to be the best edge rusher in college ball.
Yep.
Arch Manning, if he's half of what people expect him to be, should be in the Heisman running at the end of the season.
Both wide receivers are arguably faster than fucking Worthy and Golden, so.
And CJ Baxter, if he can stay healthy.
Yeah. I would just love an Ohio State rematch in the college football playoff, and Michigan just beat them again. I'd like to see Michigan beat Ohio State.
Honestly, the way the bracket shook out, and I was like, Michigan and Ohio State are on the same side of the bracket.
Listen, I need Ohio State to beat Michigan this year so he can come off his high horse for a little bit until the fucking Lions. Until the Lions go to the Super Bowl and then go right back on it.
Michigan to
The
win every
only
year.
teams that had a worse passing offense than Michigan last year were Army, Navy, and Air Force. Out of 136 teams, Michigan had the 133rd passing offense last year. Still went 8-5, beat Ohio State, beat Alabama.
That's what happens when
Michigan-
you have orgies.
Who was terrible, by the way.
Terrible orgies.
He was exciting. He was exciting last week for UNLV, though. He was a lot of fun to watch in that game.
He was.
Until he tried to throw a pass, but that, you get Bryce Underwood in, who, again, if he's half of what people have said he's gonna be, is gonna be a really good quarterback. Like, I think it's a potential top 5 defense for Michigan this year. There's enough guys. We're probably 6 guys deep at defensive tackle, another 5-6 guys deep at edge rusher. Linebacker, we're thin. Secondary, we're loaded. And Wink Martindale's probably a top 5 defensive coordinator in college football. And then great running backs again. Justice Haynes, the transfer from Alabama, and Jordan Marshall, the guy that dismantled Alabama in the bowl game. The one question mark is the offensive line, just because we don't really know the group, how they're going to play together. There's just a bunch of changing parts in there from the last couple of years here that we don't really know what we're going to get. It should, I don't expect it to be bad. It was rough last year, and they were still a really good run team. So, like I said, Michigan's got such an easy schedule this year. The only 2 teams I really see as losses are potentially Oklahoma and potentially Ohio State. But we were that bad offensively against Ohio State last year, and Ryan Day can't get out of his own fucking way. He's got to try and he's going to repeatedly try and out tough Michigan to get a win, and it's not going to happen.
Use your fucking speed, man.
The only chance they have is if Brian Hartline shuts Ryan Day out, calls his offense the way he should call the offense, and Julian Sain's what we expect him to be, and he throws for 400 yards.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it starting this year that you no longer have divisions? You just have the top 2.
We didn't have them last year.
No. I mean, it's to make the Big Ten championship game. It's the top 2 teams, right?
That was last year too.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
What if I'm playing my what if here? Michigan and Ohio State, they play each other obviously last game of the year, but then they still finish in the top 2. They play each other again the following week, and then they'll both make the playoffs, and then they still meet up.
I think over, say, the next decade, we probably see that 3, 4, maybe even 5 times.
But I would like
Michigan Ohio State play the week after in the Big Ten title game.
But I would like to see Michigan beat Ohio State 3 times in a year. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Alex under the table, yeah, no,
I don't need a national championship that year. Beat Ohio State 3 times. That's fucking. Who needs a national championship at that point?
Then they should fire Ryan Day. Losing 3 times in Michigan.
No,
after that second loss, it'd be bye-bye.
I think if he loses to Michigan this year, they might actually consider letting him go for somebody else. Cool. You won us a title, but
had they not won the national championship this past year, I think he was gone. I genuinely think he was gone.
If they can fire Jimmy Johnson right after he wins a championship, anybody can be gone.
Although there's only, I kind of hope they don't fire Ryan Day.
Yeah, you wouldn't,
because then there's 2 people. There's only 2 people I think that would take over Ohio State, and I hate either prospect.
Well, who would it be, Alex?
Brian Hartline.
Yes, sir.
Promote from OC.
Yeah.
And the fan of the team I'm about to say is going to murder me for this thought. Marcus Freeman.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's
an Ohio State alum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
that would make sense.
Or what about this one? Maybe a couple years down the line, if it doesn't work out in LA with the Chargers, Harbaugh can't go back to Michigan.
No, he can't
no
go.
way.
He can't go anywhere in the NCAA.
There's no way.
I thought he had
He can't for the next
clause with Michigan.
the show cause is the NCAA in general. That if any team decides to hire Jim Harbaugh, Connor Stallions, or even Denard Robinson for 3 years here, they have to prove to the NCAA why they shouldn't be punished, and yet that coach would still have a full 1 year suspension.
But would you put it past Ohio State to attempt something?
No.
That
Fuck no.
They would die before they'd hire a Michigan guy as their head coach.
Well, also
they haven't been able to beat Michigan in the last decade. Desperate times call for desperate measures, right?
Their desperate measures would be, begging Urban Meyer to come back.
Yeah, bring Urban back.
That would be.
Nah,
that would be as many kickers as you want here, man. We don't care.
That wouldn't be as exciting, though. You know, I'd rather have Harbaugh.
That's one way to get me to never watch college football again. Is if Jim Harbaugh puts on the scarlet and gray. I would no.
With those khakis, with those tan khakis on, and
that would be the equivalent of like.
Can you mute Ben? Can you kick him out or something? This is
that'd be like putting Steve Yzerman as the GM of like the Maple Leafs. Like there's certain things that you just don't do.
That's like Dion going to coach Miami. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Mario Cristobal can't get this Miami team going this year, then
I think he might be gone this year if they miss the playoff.
Yeah,
that's fair. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost 3 hours in. It has been a beautiful Friday night here talking sports with two gentlemen who I have known for many years now, and we've had many great discussions and arguments, by the way, on all things sports. If you tuned in for the 3 hours today, you got to hear football talk, you got to hear hockey talk, you got to hear baseball talk, you got to hear a little bit of basketball, you got to hear some UFC. What else did we touch base on? We touched basically all the sports that you could have asked for. If you want, this will get clipped eventually once I'm done.
Since we didn't get it though, what's your Super Bowl pick?
Yes. I was gonna say I should do that too before I cancel it. Okay, my Super Bowl pick. Before we go, I got Detroit to play the Green Bay Packers to come out of the NFC with Detroit winning. I've got Buffalo playing Cincinnati to come out of the AFC with Buffalo winning. And I have Buffalo and Detroit playing each other in the Super Bowl, where I have Buffalo winning the Super Bowl. Ben, give me yours.
Yeah.
Well, I got in my NFC Championship game, I have the Eagles beating the Lions.
I can see it.
Sorry, Alex. I think it'd be a great game, but
yeah, I was like, that's a phenomenal game.
Oh yeah,
yeah. In the AFC, I got the Ravens beating the Bills, but I got the Bills finally beating the Chiefs. But
I do too.
Divisional round.
Yep.
They finally get over.
I'm the exact same way.
But they can't get over the Super Bowl. And Baltimore will get their revenge. They beat the Bills because last year they should have beaten the Bills if it wasn't for Mark Andrews, those couple one turnover and the 2-point
and the drop, yeah.
But and not running Derek freaking Henry the ball, not giving him the ball in the second half like they should have.
I thought the inability to run the ball in the playoffs was gonna call run plays. We're gonna stop when you signed Derek fucking Henry. Like,
what was Todd Monken thinking? Was he going in his inner Kyle Shanahan? Like in the second half?
I called a great game for 18 games straight. Now I can fuck up one. It's fine.
And the biggest one too. Like
exactly.
So I got the Ravens and Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Nice.
What a freaking matchup.
That would be fun.
And I got the Ravens finally getting one. Lamar
gets his title.
He gets his title.
I like that.
It's just so hard to repeat.
Yeah. Unless you're the Chiefs.
Well, but the Bucks.
Then it's hard to repeat, but
or the Bucks. Oh, we were so close.
We were
0 blitz. What about you, Alex? What do you got?
So my AFC championship, I also have the Ravens beating the Bills.
Nice.
Bills beating the Chiefs in the divisional round. Oddly enough, my Ravens matchup is John getting one over Jim. The Ravens beat the Chargers in the divisional round of the playoffs. And then Ravens over the Bills. My NFC championship game is the Lions and the Eagles after the Lions beat the Bucks. Sorry, guys, in the divisional round. And the Commanders lose to the Eagles in the divisional round, 1-7. I have them beating the fraudulent 2 seed San Francisco 49ers and then losing to the Eagles. I have the Lions sneaking one out against the Eagles. Nice. I think either way that comes down to maybe even overtime because I think those two teams are so similar. I have the Lions getting that one. And then I have Lamar getting his Super Bowl, beating my Lions in the Super Bowl.
You'll get yours, buddy.
I was like, essentially our core is locked up for the next 4 years. So
I have stated many of times and have told many of people from the States that if your team was to make the Super Bowl, wherever you are, I will be there with you, and I will make sure you and your sister and your brother all get home fine. Like,
what are you talking about? I'm gonna hold myself up in the basement, barricade the door, and nobody.
Don't do. The only reason I did that was because of COVID. I would have loved all of you guys to be in the basement watching me ball my fucking eyes.
I was like, I had to do that when Michigan played the national championship. No,
that is fair. That is it's a weird feeling because like you do want to be with friends when there's a championship, but this was like the first championship that I actually remembered. Like I wasn't a kid and stuff, and it was like as much as I want to be around people, and I know I can't because of COVID. It was kind of nice to be in the basement by myself, being nervous as shit. And it was like 5 minutes and change coming down, and Kim seeing the score and her going to celebrate. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Don't you pull the Falcons on me right now. Don't you start and she was like, sorry. And she left and she went straight upstairs, comes back with 30 seconds and I'm bawling. It's like, I'm already in tears. I'm like, we did it.
Okay. That's another team that's never going to win one. It's the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh. They're so cursed.
Sorry, Kyle. You had your chance.
You did. And you should have kept your owner in the fucking suite. But the same thing goes for Kyle as well. If your Atlanta Falcons were to make it to the Super Bowl, please don't celebrate prematurely. But if you do get there and you do win, I will drive your ass all the way back home to Camrose. That is not a problem. Alex will be in the passenger seat and Kyle will be in the back being like, I fucking told you. I fucking told you. 28-3 don't mean shit.
Still will, because I could have been their second, but I mean.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here for basically a 3-hour show. These guys have been awesome to be here with. A couple of what?
Point the other way.
Yeah. These guys right here have all been here having a great time with me. I appreciate them immensely for being here. Couple of housekeepings. So the North Sports Dynasty nostalgia collectibles and cards will be at the Pioneer House in Fort Saskatchewan on September 7th. I will also be at the St. Albert, I think it's a high school. I can't remember where the hell it is, but I got asked to be at the St. Albert for the first annual card show there, where I will also be having my booth. As you guys have seen, all I do now is go to auctions and start collecting these, and that's all I do. And I resell them, and I make a little bit of money off of it. And surprisingly did pretty good in my first one. That's why I'm addicted now. Especially when I can sell an Otani card for $120 and it was not worth that at all. I love it. So I'm addicted. Pokemon cards are actually, as I told Alex before the show even started, Ben, you might like this too, is a lot of people have said before, why would you invest in Pokemon cards? So someone was asked this, like, who invested in it. Why would you invest in Pokemon cards? Like, Pokemon cards is a child's game. What is the thought process of investing in Pokemon cards? And the guy straight up said, Pikachu doesn't tear an ACL, Charizard doesn't have a DUI, and Gengar ain't going to beat his wife. Like, that's just the way it is.
The Gengar one's questionable.
The Gengar one is questionable. He could DUI. He could beat his wife. We don't know.
You make 4 points. I mean,
yep.
So,
like everybody who had Josh Rosen cards back in the day and thought they were hitting with something amazing, and then turns out. So,
are you talking about that impersonator on YouTube, Josh Rosen?
Josh.
He does like the Trump and.
Yeah. No, I know. It took me a second. I was like, "Who the fuck is he talking about?" That's right. So,
yeah. You're talking about the quarterback has that never was.
Yeah. And then when everybody was like, "Why are they taking a quarterback the year after?" That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't seem like what you're supposed to do.
Because he sucked.
Man, is he? Wow. And if he had a downtown card, that thing would be the cheapest downtown card right now. So actually, Anthony Richardson's downtown card went from being like $4,000 to like $400. So.
Should be cheaper than that, but
we should be way cheaper than that. Actually, this is something I want. This is a little fun thing I wanted to do on the show here, quick, just before we go. Okay, just because it's you guys and stuff like that. Which card is worth more?
Since you're saying this, it's your right hand.
You think it's the Pokemon card or the basketball card?
The Pokemon.
You think it's the Pokemon? Ben, what do you think?
I gotta go Pokemon because people know more about Pokemon.
So I knew that you guys would say that. It is actually the basketball card. The basketball card is worth more. I will do it. Now this one though, this is out of 22 out of 35 Eichel card, or a full
that Pokemon card is definitely.
You think Pokemon card too?
And with this one, the shiny and all that, yeah.
So this is worth $3. This is worth $5.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Now here's the fun. Here's one. Who's worth more?
I'm still gonna go Pokemon on that one.
Yeah.
This one, you both would be right. This is the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Even though this is a card that I'm collecting all these slam cards because I fucking love these cards. This slam card is the third variation. So it goes base, and then it goes hollow, and then it goes winter hollow. This is the winter hollow one. This one is very hard to find. And this fucking Lickitung is still worth more. Well, actually, and I'm going to be doing a couple of shorts to put on YouTube just so like people who like Pokemon and sports cards kind of can see from the other side. And they're going to be, and it's basically just going to be like, what's worth more, this Slab Kobe card or this Charizard card? So, yeah. Anyways, again, thank you all. Found their court. Oh, I see your private chats going on here.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Clan is definitely the guy for UNLV.
Fuck
Anthony,
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the 3 hours. Ben, there you are. Alex, there you are. If you guys ever want to pop on again, yeah, I did it. Thank you. When the fuck did we get ice cream? Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching North Sports Dynasty. Check me out with the card show on September 7th, October 5th. Check me out doing my live show. I'll be doing a live card like booth thing there. I'll have the games on, all that kind of stuff. If you're in Fort Saskatchewan, come check it out. Even if you're not, come check it out on YouTube. Drop your comments, drop in, say hi, let everybody know you're in there. And if you see a kid and you're live and you want to donate so that the kid can have a couple of free tosses, that is always acceptable as well. And that is literally to a T what I am trying to get all of this to be. It's for the kids. I will always have stuff to sell and make money off of that kind of stuff. But there are always going to be Pokemon cards and hockey cards and all that kind of stuff for the kids at my booth for cheap. Kids do not need to be going to shops and stuff like that and paying $20 to get a pack of cards to get nothing. They can come to my booth, take $1, do a toss with the little Poliwhirl and a couple other things I got. And if you get it in, guess what? You have the chance to win anything that I have in the back there. I got Bijan Robinson's rookies, Anthony Richardson rookies. I got slabbed cards. You name it. The kids have the ability to win.
Why are you trying to give them something worthless?
Dude, with Anthony, well, hey, gotta throw a couple of those ones in there, but there's still a Bijan in there.
Just tell them it's Jaden Daniels or something.
Yeah, the whole thing is just Jaden Daniels, and then I got
just Sharpie over the name, just Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. And then I'll have fucking adults sitting there with loonies for hours, being like, I'm getting myself a Jaden Daniels rookie today. That's what I'm doing. So, anyways, much love. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you later, and I'll be on next week.